and be crowned the 2022 British Speedway Premiership champions. Only 12 points separate the two sides after an epic night of speedway in the first leg in Manchester. Gentlemen, it's nearly time for tapes up. Good luck to you both. May the best team win. Manchester on Monday on a crisp but dry evening saw the roar of the Tigers travel across the Pennines to the den of the Aces in a meeting dubbed the War of the Roses. It was an eventful and attritional match, and the Aces on the night took a 12-point advantage. Good evening and a warm welcome to the Owlerton Stadium in the heart of Sheffield for the return leg of this Premiership Grand Final. For the big occasion, we pulled out all the stops and we are joined by our 1993 World Champion Southern Sam as always, and in the pleasure of seven-time British champion Scott Nicholls. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Sam, 12 points is the cushion that Bellevue head to Sheffield. We know how good Sheffield are at home. Is that enough?
It's got to be enough from Sheffield's eyes. There's no doubt about it. Simon Stead will get the guys geared up, and he's going to tell them, you know, the first four heats, man, are so important. Get out there, don't make no mistakes, and let's fire it up straight away.
Scott, from a rider's point of view, from a captain's perspective, how are you treating this evening? Because if anything, on Monday we saw some riders pushing too hard, overriding perhaps.
Well, exactly. I mean, sometimes you want to treat it as much like a normal meeting as possible, but there's that extra element. It's the championship we're going for. But exactly what you said there, a few of the boys just going over the mark as a result. Sadly, Charles Wright's not here. I think that's a big loss for Bellevue. But as a captain, as a manager, he's got to try and keep riders in check. There's going to be lots of elbow banging. See there, tight first turn. Jai Etheridge not here tonight.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, when they're out there trying their hearts out, Abby, you know, they're going to get themselves into positions, and some of the guys, especially the 6s and 7s of the teams, will get in a bit of a pandemic of this nature right here, which is going to scare the Aces, and he's not going to recover from that one, so they're going to be missing him.
It's a real shame, and impressive team spirit that you have got Jai, Charles Wright and Max Vick all here tonight. Yep. How hard is it, though, when you are operating rider replacement and bringing in a guest on such a vital meeting, Scott?
Yeah, that's huge, you know, but Simon Lambert knows what's at stake. He'll kind of revel in being part of this, and he'll be going out there for his own pride, for his own redemption. He'll want to show what he's capable of, and the Bellevue boys will definitely be doing the best they can to get him up to speed and to make him feel part of the team. Charles Wright and shot there, you know, battered and bruised. Like I say, he's here, he's part of the team. He'll be geeing the boys on as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just want to apologise to all our Eurosport viewers there for some audio troubles at the start of the evening. We have got it restored, but Sam, Scott said you've got to try and treat it like any other evening, but it's really tricky because the crowds are going absolutely crazy. I mean, it's even hard to hear you two speak.
Yeah, it's amazing when you got the support. Both teams are well supported here this evening, and so they should be. You know, they've worked real hard all year long to get themselves in this position, and I must say it's the best two teams in the league so far that are going to come to battle here. We've seen it at Bellevue, how important it was for that support to travel, and they're here. They're good.
It is so nicely poised, and the crowds have come out to enjoy this evening. It is the return leg of the Premiership Grand Final. For the final time this season, Calvin Tatum went out with his trusty dirtometer to check out the track.
It's the second leg of the Grand Final here, and we're at Owlerton in Sheffield, and I must say that the weather has been perfect today. It's a cool evening, but not a cloud in the sky. And over the last couple of days, they haven't had as much rain as we had here last week. And I've got my dirtometer as always. The last time I'm going to use the dirtometer this year, so I'm sure it's going to be working and behaving itself. Down on the inside here, once again, dirtometer going in a reasonable amount. And as we saw last week, there is quite a lot of grip in this track here. Middle of the track, once again, going in, not quite as far, but once again, a decent amount of material on here. And as we make our way towards the air fence, getting in here, Again, they haven't ripped it too much. They've pretty much just left it where they prepped it earlier in the week. They have put some fresh material on, just a dusting over the top of the track, which will actually help the track create a little bit more racing lines. The start line, they've resisted the temptation to actually rip them up. Many tracks, we see that on a regular basis. So you've got to believe that they're quite comfortable racing against Bellevue with just the natural surface there. It's set up beautifully, 12-point lead to the Bellevue Aces. I must say that it was a cracking Speedway meeting on Monday night. I'm sure we're going to be in for a thriller here in the second leg. Who's going to win? We're going to find out in a few hours' time. Can't wait for the racing to get underway.
Kelvin, thank you. Well, the atmosphere here in the pits is electric. Let's hear from the captains now. They're talking to Steve Brandon.
Brady, quick reflection on Monday.
I think we can be happy with it. I think 12 points is a good lead, considering that it is the final. I was kind of expecting them to be a little bit closer, actually. So I think we can be happy with that. But we're here today, and Monday doesn't really matter anymore. It's all about this one night, and yeah, we'll see.
40 is the magic number for Bellevue tonight. You have to get there. You haven't done that this year so far. How are you going to do it tonight?
Something different to last time, hopefully. I think the last few times we've been here, we've had a bit of a depleted team. We've always had one of the big three missing, and we're all here today. So hopefully we can get a bit of magic together, and yeah, we're going to have to do something.
And just a word for the two guys that are missing tonight. I know they're both sort of gutted not to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to be devastated not to line up tonight, but they're both in the pits with us, and they'll be behind us and here with us. So yeah, there will be a full team, and may the best team win.
Kyle, your reflections on Monday night's first leg?
Up and down. Obviously, we was doing a job, and I think we've just had a few results what didn't go our way, what cost us, and they managed to grab a few more points and pull a bit of a bigger lead. But look, 12 points, it's what it is. We can't go on about it now. We move on, and look, we're ready for it, and we definitely think it's achievable.
They haven't got close enough to get over the line over two legs in the final so far in the league this year. How do you stop them doing it tonight?
I think obviously the main one is having fought the first four heats, obviously putting the pressure on really early and getting that lead, getting that score back to normal and evens and building on that. So I think if we can have a good start, put some pressure on them and hit them hard from the start and really put them under pressure, and hopefully they start to crumble.
People talk in Speedway about home track advantage. For people maybe not watch this very often, what does it mean to Sheffield to be at home in the second leg?
Yeah, it's a lot, obviously, because you have your starts where the boys, we've rode here all year, week in, week out, and obviously the track, we know what it's going to do at certain times from the start to finish. So look, we are at that's what I mean. We're happy to have this second leg here. We know what we're doing. I think this year we've beaten with some big scores, so there's no reason why we can't do it again.
Thank you, Brando. I think my Carl Howarth mantra that he said to me last week is, he makes a start, he's going for it. If he doesn't, he's trying. And that's what he's like, isn't he, Scott? He's an all-out racer.
Oh, it certainly is. He's like a little Jack Russell. If he's behind you, he's just snapping your ankles the whole time. Or going through you, for that matter. He's all action. I think he could be a key player for Sheffield tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely quality, and when he wants to get down into the dirt, he'll go for it. He's not scared at all on the track, and he's a good leader for the team too. He talks well, he pumps them all up, and he knows where their flaws were. He addressed them already, so hopefully they're going to be right on the night. Well,
there's quality in both of these sides. Let's put it on the line, gentlemen. Then final thoughts. Who do you think might take this win?
I know that Scotty is going to go against me. I'm gonna weigh up on the Aces side, because I think that 12 points is a good enough lead.
Yeah, I think I'll go with the underdog. I'll go with Sheffield, and let's see what happens. How about you, Abs?
Oh, I've got to stand on the fence, surely. Yeah. Surely.
Get the splinters out, come on.
Well, with the sound of this crowd, I feel that will be the 8th man or 9th man, if we do have the 8th rider for the Sheffield team, that may just give Sheffield their first Premiership title. We are almost about to go racing. The guys are out on the track for the parade. Let's hand you to your commentary team this evening, Chris Louis and Calvin Tatum.
Yes, thanks very much, Abby. Thoroughly looking forward to it. It's a big night of Speedway. It's the conclusion of the league programme. And Chris, it's been really hotly contested. Monday night was a terrific Speedway meeting. And I'm sure we're going to see something very similar tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. Monday was the perfect way to start, and a titanic battle. It took its toll on both teams, but Sheffield have managed to come with their 1-7, so I think that's going to be an advantage for them for sure.
Yes, unfortunately it was an attritional night, and the Bellevue Aces have lost a couple of riders. They've got rider replacement in their team and also a guest coming in at the bottom. We'll go through their lineup for you very shortly and just get a clear idea of exactly their lineup for this evening. So riding at number 1 for the Bellevue Aces tonight is Brady Kurtz. They do have rider replacement at number 2. Matty Zagar is at number 3. Tom Brennan at number 4. Robert Lambert, who's been outstanding so far, is at number 5. Norrick Bladorn at number 6. And at 7, the reserve guest coming in is Simon Lambert. And my man that I've picked out to keep an eye on tonight is Matty Zagar. He's been a little bit up and down here in his visits so far this season. He will get an extra ride, Chris, and he is an experienced man and needs to put his best foot forward.
He does, yeah, absolutely. Bellevue will be reliant on their top 3, that's for sure. Brady Kurtz, Robert Lambert, I'm sure will both be fast around this Owlerton track tonight, but Matty Zagar for sure is going to play a big part.
So we'll look at the home team. I'll run that through for you now. He's riding at number 1 is Jack Holder. Louis Kerr will be at number 2. Adam Ellis is at number 3. Carl Howarth, the captain, at number 4. Tobias Michalak at number 5. Justin Sedgman, who's been going great guns, at number 6. And Connor Mountain, the rising star rider, is at number 7. And the rider I've picked out here, Chris, is Louis Kerr. Of course, he came in midway through the season. He's done a really good job, and particularly in the playoffs. That man there, he's been outstanding in the playoffs so far.
Yeah, his move definitely turned his season around, and I think for Sheffield it is the engine room of their team that's going to be the difference. Louis Kerr and Justin Sedgman, Connor Mountain have been fantastic at reserve. So, yeah, it's going to come down to the skipper, Kyle Howarth. We know he's quick around here. An up-and-down night at Bellevue, but he'll be looking for more tonight.
Smashing crowd in. They've packed in here tonight at Owlerton. It's a fabulous atmosphere. We're going to be on with the action not too far away now. Will the 12-point lead for the Bellevue Aces be sufficient for them to clinch the title, or will the Sheffield Tigers win their first senior title in their history here this evening? Don't go too far. Heat 1.
So yes, ahead of that first leg of the Premiership Grand Final in Manchester, we spoke to the team captains. We're now talking to the managers. Simon Stead of Sheffield Tigers, 12 points, Simon. It is so nicely poised.
For the neutral, maybe. I think what was important for us was that we kept it reasonably close. We've seen recently that Bellevue have been absolutely annihilating clubs at their home track. They're so dominant. So I think, of course, I would have liked it closer, but I think 12 points is a realistic target for us to feel it's achievable. And like you said, it's perfectly poised for the neutral. Amazing. I think Bellevue fans will come here with hope that they can do it. Sheffield fans will turn up in their numbers thinking that we can do a job. So it's game on.
It really is game on. And as a manager, what's happened from Monday until now? Because it's so different to other sports. You're not now training together, eating in hotels, relaxing and chat. Everyone's going off and coming back together. So how do you create that spirit?
WhatsApp.
It's really.
Yeah. Look, we've got a great group of lads, and we've been working well together all season. New additions in Seji and Louis have integrated into the team really, really nicely. But there's always a bit of banter going on, whether it's for the playoff final, for the cup final, or just throughout the season. You know, it's important that we turn up here and we all work hard together, and we all work for the same goal, which is what we've been doing all season. So it's just been any other week for us. We obviously know that it's crunch time, but you know, the focus has to be on doing the job and not anything else.
You mentioned that Bellevue have annihilated teams at home. You guys have annihilated sides here around Sheffield Tigers as well. So again, it's like if you'd write the script, it couldn't get more exciting. Bellevue need 40 points. They haven't had 40 points here at your track.
Yeah.
You just couldn't write this, Teddy.
Throw in, obviously, the rivalry, War of the Roses, and what goes with that. it couldn't be any more. It couldn't be a better setup final, really. Two teams that are really on form, and it's all going to come down to probably the last few heats tonight. So it's going to be great. I just hope my nerves will hold out.
Yeah, how are your nerves doing?
Shot.
We talk about the riders, but you can feel it, can't you? You can feel it in the pits at the moment. There is.
Yeah.
You want to say it's like any other week, but there isn't. You know, the stakes are so high and everyone wants to be lifting that trophy.
Yeah.
It would be Sheffield's first time in the Premiership, so it could be big.
Abby, you know, when you try and put that into context and you think this club's been in operation almost every year since the late 1920s, unbelievable. So to say this is the biggest night in Sheffield Speedway's history is no understatement. We can write ourselves into the history book, so we'll be going for it.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Coming up this week across the channel, you've got Cycling Pro Series Tour of Langkawi. That's tomorrow on Eurosport 1 at 10:50. The Track Cycling World Champs is tomorrow at 6:20 on Eurosport 1. And then Alpine Skiing, the weekend of the 15th and 16th of October, Eurosport Live, and that's the World Cup. But here in Sheffield, we are 15 heats away from crowning our Premiership champions. Heat 1 then, and your commentary team of Chris Louis and Calvin Tatum.
Thank you very much, Abby. And now we are on with the action. Heat number 1, of course. And we have a change here straight away. We'll run through it for you on the start line, but there is rider replacement happening tonight for the injured Charles Wright, and they're running that. Mark Lemon there on screen now. He's actually using rider replacement at number 2. So we will see Simon Lambert, who is coming in as a guest for Jai Etheridge at number 7. He comes in for the opening race of the evening. Simon, who rides for Scunthorpe in the championship, and he'll be hoping for a big night at Speedway, and so will Mark Lemon. And do you think, Chris, that the injuries that happened on Monday will be an issue for the Aces tonight, or would you think they're going to be able to cope okay?
I think they're going to be able to cope okay. I think a lot of it comes down to I don't want to put the pressure on their guest Simon Lambert coming in from the championship, but if he's actually scoring points, it'll give Mark Lemon a little bit of flexibility as to where he can use his other reserve, Noric Ladorn, and you know, Charles is a big miss. He's always consistent around here.
He is indeed. So Simon Lambert with a bit of pressure on his shoulders. The coin toss was made earlier on, and the Bellevue Aces won the coin toss and have taken gates 2 and 4 in the opening race. So heat number 1 then is Louis Kerr on the inside in blue. Simon Lambert coming in here as a rider replacement, comes out of gate number 2 in yellow. Jack Holder coming away from gate number 3 in red, and Brady Kurtz will come out of gate number 4 in white. And you've got to believe here this evening that Jack Holder will be much more determined and amongst the points right from the word go. Disappointing start for Jack Holder on Monday night, but here at home out of gate number 3, he'll be really relishing this now.
Yeah, he certainly will, and you're right, it was a disappointing night, but I think Sheffield's top men, Jack Holder, Adam Ellis, Tobias Muzak, key here tonight.
Indeed they are. Tapes up in the first race of the night. They roar into the first corner. Louis Kerr, superb, but look at Kurtz. Kurtz comes through. Down goes Kerr. Clashed as they come out of the first corner. Red lights are on. Christina Turnbull, the referee, in the hot seat. Got a decision to make right from the word go here. We hadn't completed a lap, and we've got a big decision. Kerr just moved away from the line there, and Kurtz was up the inside of him, and there was contact. We'll see it again. Good to see Louis on his feet. No real damage done, but see it again, Chris.
Yeah, Louis Kerr just opens the door, invites Brady Kurtz in, coming from the outside there, just cuts back. It's difficult. Christina Turnbull's got a tough one, but I think he has taken Louis Kerr down there, so he could well go for this. It's a tough decision straight away. We've started where we left off in Manchester, and really, oh yeah, no, he's ridden into him. I think Brady Kurtz will probably go for that.
So all of a sudden, as I say, drama in the first corner. So the exclusion is on, and we've got the white exclusion light on. So Kurtz is out, and all of a sudden, Carl Howarth talking about they need to get off to a fast start tonight. The Sheffield Tigers, they need to eke into that 12-point advantage that the Bellevue Aces got on Monday night, of course, with the 5-1 and Heat 15. They need to close in. At the bottom line is here, Aces are in front by 12 points, and all of a sudden, that is an opportunity that the Sheffield Tigers need to take advantage of.
Yes, there certainly is. And these two legs are completely different. The first leg is about setting targets, particularly for the home team. And, the second leg, you've got something tangible to aim for, and we're seeing it as early as the first turn of Heat 1.
Yeah, no malice there, but it was just one of those things. You can't blame Kurtz going for that gap, because Kerr did just drift away from that inside line, and of course he's come from the outside, Brady, and he's just dived there, and they've just picked him up as they come out of the corner. This track is fast, no doubt about it, but it hasn't got the racing room that the National Speedway Stadium's got.
No, absolutely not. The speed is the only similarity. Apart from that, they're completely different. But yeah, Brady has just lifted Louis Kerr's front wheel up in the air. Louis almost invited that move, and I think Brady could probably feel a little bit aggrieved right now. But he took advantage of the gap, and the corner just didn't really open up for him. Lou was just in the way, and he's got to go. He's taking him down.
Christina Turnbull has made her decision. So, heat number 1, second time of asking. Louis Kerr off the inside in blue. Simon Lambert comes out of gate number 2 in yellow, and Jack Holder out of gate number 3 in red. Massive opportunity for the Sheffield Tigers to pick up 5 points here in the opening race and reduce the deficit to 8 points after just one race. So here we go, Simon. And Simon Stead there says his nerves are shot to pieces, and we haven't even seen a lap of Speedway here tonight already. So here we go then, tense times, tapes up, and we're underway in the first race. Kerr, fabulous start on the inside. Jack Holder takes advantage, coming through in the second place, and down the back straight they go. Louis Kerr has been in such red-hot form since he joined the Sheffield Tigers. Delighted to be given the inside gate in the opening race. And he's out in front, and Jack Holder looking good for a 5-1 here, Chris.
They're looking very good for a 5-1. Louis Kerr's been so consistent since he joined the Tigers, and he is a fast starter. That's certainly going to help tonight, but Jack Holder just filling in the gap. Got to say, Simon Lambert hasn't really fallen off the pace, but he doesn't look like he's going to be able to put that challenge in.
So the ideal start for the Sheffield Tigers. They've beaten the Bellevue Aces here on 2 occasions in the league this season. They're into the last lap. Wheel perfect there from Louis Kerr. Steady away, track riding beautifully down the back straight for the last time in the grand final and in the opening race of the night. Massive 5-1. The Sheffield Tigers start in the best possible way they can. Massive 5-1. They're delighted. Their fans are on their feet. And as I say, they reduce the deficit immediately to 8 points. And they'll be delighted about that. Cracking way for them to start.
For confidence, it's the only way to start. They are going to be feeling ultra confident now. They're going to have this huge crowd, certainly the majority of it behind them. And yeah, cracking way for the Tigers to start tonight.
Well, there we are. Louis Kerr, who's been in red-hot form and starts in fine style there. Was so far in front. It was 2 bikes in front going off the inside. Clearly that inside gate could be red-hot throughout the evening. The result of heat number 1 then for you is Louis Kerr out in front, 3 points for him. Jack Holder in second place, 2 points, and Simon Lambert picking up the 3rd place. And of course the disqualification to Brady Kurtz in the initial stagings of heat number 1. Pretty straightforward in the end for the Sheffield Tigers.
Yeah, and it's a convincing start for those guys, but Louis Kerr electric off the inside gate there. Absolutely textbook start from him. And Jack Holder just fills in. I think he'd be happy to be tucked in behind his teammate, just controlling the race, making sure that Simon Lambert can't make any moves. But Louis Kerr, normally you look across your shoulder, just across the track to look for your teammate. Actually had to look behind him.
Exactly. He
hadn't even got to the first
Exactly.
turn.
It was an absolutely dynamite start off the inside, and if Louis Kerr can maintain that throughout the evening, he's going to have a huge part to play here this evening. As I say, the track behaved itself really nicely in Heat 1.
Yeah, it did, and I'm sure it's going to settle down. As you touched on it earlier, these two tracks, Bellevue and Sheffield, really quite different. They're both quick, but Sheffield is much narrower and rides a bit like a circle. It's only really got one straight through the start-finish line, and that's quite short. But we will see a very wide dirt line. The track's in very good condition, and the dirt's going to move out, but it's certainly for the braver riders later on.
Yeah, smashing start for the Sheffield Tigers, and while there is a pause here with two riders, with Simon Lambert having two rides on the trot, we will get some reaction now. Let's get down to Sam Ermolenko.
Thank you very much, Kelvin. Scott, straight away, these guys are going for it, aren't they? And do you think that was a little controversial?
Possibly, there's an awful lot going for it. Chris picked up just there, both very big tracks, but Sheffield is big, it looks huge on TV, but it can be quite narrow. We see here Louis Kerr on the inside makes absolute dynamite, so we need to keep your eye on the guy in white here. Brady Kurtz, smart turn, cuts back up the inside there. Is there any malice? No, there's not. Paused perfectly, Sam, but controversial. Could they have all fall back because no one, to be fair, is at fault, but yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah, from a racer's point of view, you're going to race, aren't you? You're not going to let the throttle off whatsoever. And unfortunately, they hit. But, where they're at on the track right here, this is really kind of coming off the straightaway, isn't he? And he is in front, isn't he, at this point right now?
Yeah, and the thing is that, classic would be first when bunching all first of all, if that had happened earlier. The referee probably feels she's got to put somebody out, but you know what? It's open to meet him right up. I think gate choice was crucial. Bellevue opted for 2 and 4 early doors. It proved pivotal there. Brady Kurtz got the jump on Jack Holder. Sadly got excluded, and he's put
Would you be fighting the corner right now if you were the one got excluded?
Oh, 100%. I'd be aggrieved saying I'm in front, and where you paused it, Brady Kurtz was in front. There was no malice, but I think it's a tough call, but it's setting things up nicely.
Yeah, right on, Scott. We're going to be doing a lot more of this, I hope. Anyway, back to you guys up in the commentary booth.
Thank you very much, Sam. And talking points here already this evening. And as I say, that clash wasn't even at the end of the first lap. So could have gone either way. But in the end, Brady Kurtz was taken out of the race. And a 5-1 to the home team. Simon Lambert will be a busy boy tonight. He's got another ride coming here. And he's going to get the hurry up fairly soon because the 2 minutes is on now. And he'll have to make his way to the start. The reserves for the Sheffield team here have done a good job. They've been in good form throughout the season, Sedgman and Mountain. Connor Mountain, the rising star, Chris. Well, we've got a moment while Lambert makes his way out. He's steadily coming along and he's moving in the right direction. Yeah,
for sure. He's a slow burner. He's been riding for a few years now, but I've got to say this year he really has moved on. He's found consistency and particularly at home here he's able to beat some pretty classy riders. So yeah, if he can continue that tonight, he'll certainly have a big part to play in this.
Yeah, he's ridden well here at Owlerton, and there's no question that the penny seems to be dropping with Connor Mountain. Simon Lambert now coming out for his second consecutive ride. Looks like he could be a busy man because he's out in heat number 4 as well. So he'll have 3 heats in the first 4 races this evening by the looks of things. He's on his way now. Heat number 2 then, on the inside is Norik Bladorn, the young German rider in white. Gate number 2 in red is Justin Sedgman. Simon Lambert will be out of gate number 3 in yellow, and Connor Mountain off the outside in blue. And now can the Bellevue Aces bounce back? They'll want to try and stretch that lead. They won't want the Sheffield Tigers to get on a roll now after starting with such a great result in heat number 1.
It's going to be huge for Sheffield if they get another result here and pick it back to 4 points after just 2 races.
Here we go then, tapes up. Heat number 2 is underway. Bladorn's made a good start. From the inside, Simon Lambert out of control in the first corner. Connor Mountain coming round the outside into second place, pushing on. But Norik Bladorn, who's used to riding on big, wide, fast tracks from Germany, is looking good out in front here. Made a smashing start off the inside. Sedgman back in 3rd place. 3-all for both teams right now. But Norik Bladorn going nicely out in front.
Yeah, as you say, Kelvin, this fast Sheffield circuit won't scare Norik Bladorn. He seems to be thoroughly enjoying himself, just riding mid-track, keeping it nice and smooth out front. We will see the track cut up for a few races before it settles back down, but The important thing for the Sheffield Tigers is they're settled down in second and third.
Ladorn out in front, comfortable. Connor Mountain made a good effort initially from the outside gate. Sedgman just keeping a watching brief there in third place with Simon Lambert out the back. But Norib Ladorn, that inside gate works a treat once again, wins nicely. It's a 3-all, the 8 points. It's retained between the two sides. The Bellevue Aces will be relatively pleased with that, with Ladorn, who's had a terrific season for the Bellevue Aces this year. He has done fine work for them, there's no doubt about that. And he's done the business for them in heat number 2, and he could well be a busy chap again tonight. Had 7 rides on Monday, of course, and the last 3 rides I sense he just ran out of steam a little bit. So the result then of heat number 2 is Norib Ladorn out in front, 3 points for him. Connor Mountain, a good ride from Mountain, back in second place. Sedgman there in third place, and Simon Lambert just missing out in heat number 2. But Ladorn, that inside gate, he took full advantage.
He did, and Bellevue team manager Mark Lemon will be buoyed by that, I think, because Norib Ladorn could play a very big part in this meeting. Could end up having a couple of RR rides for Charles Wright one way and another. So to see him starting the way he did is good for Bellevue. And Simon Lambert once again wasn't off the pace, but unfortunately just not getting off the start, and trailed at the back. But Connor Mountain, smart move from him just to come across Simon Lambert there, stop any run from him on the first turn, settle down for 3 points.
He did. Simon Lambert actually had his nose chopped off going in the first corner there.
I was being polite.
Yeah, it was a little bit untidy, but determined speedway there from Connor Mountain. Norib Ladorn starting with a maximum 3 points, so he'll be pleased with that, and delighted to see him. But we've got some big hitters coming out now in heat number 3. I always call this part of the team 3 and 4, and the respective team the engine room of the teams, and we've got that now for the first time this evening. And Matty Zagar, of course, great to see him. He was signed in May, and he came back into British Speedway, been away for a few seasons, but good to see him back, wasn't it?
Yeah, great to see him back. He's a classy rider. He's just great to watch on the motorbike, to be fair. The way he rides the bike is very classy and very quick and very effective. But yeah, this is interesting. Right, Tom Brennan, he's riding at number 4. That's a move for him. Mark Lemon making the switch to make sure that RR for Charles Wright went at 2. Just gives him a bit of flexibility there.
Gate number 3 then, Carl Howarth on the inside in blue, Matty Zagar off of gate number 2 in white, Adam Ellis from gate number 3 in red, and Tom Brennan off the outside in yellow. We're on board with Carl Howarth now. If he rides anything like he did on Monday, it's going to be action-packed, I tell you.
You might want to shut your eyes on occasions.
Yeah, you might have to. It might be a little bit too much to watch at times, but certainly Carl Howarth is all action, and I'm sure we're going to get plenty of that from him this evening. Massive race. And as I say, 8 points between the two teams after the first couple of races. And these big hitters now, this is where it could be won and lost, that's for sure. Here we go then, heat number 3. Riders coming forward. Big Nida Speedway, second leg of the grand final, of course, and we're underway in heat number 3, and they charge into the first corner. Howard's made a good start from gate number 1. Oh, down there. Oh, that looks like Brennan's just bit the dust in the first corner. Zagar's been relegated to third place, but the red lights will have to come on. Brennan hasn't been able to get himself off the track. And a tough first turn there. Oh, Howard hasn't seen the red lights. Wow. And Brennan just very vulnerable there on the outside, stuck under the air fence. Looked like there was a bit of a clash between Ellis and Brennan in the first corner there.
It was very close. I don't know if there was any contact, and if so, it could be all 4 back, but it'd be interesting to see here. We can see the rider in red just inside Tom Brennan there. There is contact on the handlebars. For me, he didn't really move over. It could well be all 4 back, this one.
I think that's the most likely outcome here. I think it'll be all 4 back. From that angle, you can't really see exactly what happened.
Adam Ellis hasn't done a lot wrong, but neither has Tom Brennan. If this was my decision, it would be all 4 back.
I think that's the best, or the most likely outcome. I think he might have actually just clipped his leg.
Yeah, leg and the handlebar hits the back of Ellis's bike as well. There is just a little bit of contact just here.
Oh yeah, you did right. Actually the dirt deflector actually clips it, doesn't it? So yeah, Christina Turnbull now with another decision to make in heat number 3. Brennan making his way back into the pits. This is tense stuff. This is the second leg of the grand final. 8 points between the two teams. The Bellevue Aces desperately want to win here. They've come so close in recent years. And we're just taking another look at this. There is a bit of contact there. Whether Brennan was waiting for it, I don't know. He did come out of the throttle a touch, but...
yeah, he did. It's a real tough one. I mean, no doubt he couldn't stay on his bike, that's for sure. But for me, that particular one... Okay, referee has made a decision. And the rider in red, Adam Ellis, has been disqualified.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
No.
That's quite a controversial one. I think Adam Ellis will be quite puzzled by that. And in truth, so am I.
Yeah, me too.
I thought that was a perfect opportunity for the referee to put them all back.
I think that's tough on Adam.
I agree, but it's don't really want to see riders being thrown out of the race, because Adam Ellis clearly has made his points regarding the decision with a thumbs down there, and everything. We'll see it again, but I'm not sure he sort of, well, he hasn't done anything wrong there, really.
He hasn't really, no. There is contact, and Brennan does go down, and there's no way Brennan could stay on his bike.
I don't think he goes looking for him, does he?
No, I think it's early enough in the corner that, for me, that's just two guys looking for the same bit of track, first turn, bring them back, have another go. But referee not afraid to make the decision, and that's Christina Turnbull's job. So Adam Ellis.
Well, it's not making the Sheffield Tigers' job any easier. They're going to rely now on Carl Howarth to come off the inside gate and see if he can do the business. And he got away nicely the first time. The inside gate, no question, has been the best gate so far this evening. The first 3 times the tapes have gone up, the rider on the inside has hit the front going in the first corner. So Howarth will be hoping that he can do something similar. This actually does help Brennan, because he doesn't have a rider on gate number 3, so he's got a bit more racing room on that run to the first corner.
Yeah, he's got a little bit more time to think about what he's going to do and whether he can get across the other riders, or a little bit more space to make a cutback. So yeah, I think you're right, it does play into his hands a little bit. And
it does definitely help the Bellevue Aces, with only one representative from the Sheffield Tigers. It's been controversial already. 2 big decisions have had to be made by the referee this evening. And possibly we might not be in a full agreement last time out. Heat number 3 then, second time of asking. Howarth off the inside in blue, Zagar from gate number 2 in white. No rider in gate number 3, and Tom Brennan will go from the outside in yellow. Big opportunity once again for the Bellevue Aces. They will want to stretch that lead out to 12 points if they can, but they've got a hard charger on the inside at Howarth, and you know Howarth, he's going to be going for it big style, and he's in the box seat there on the inside.
Yeah, he is. He's got the best gate, as you say, and he will race for 4 laps. So I think Matty Zagar's job here is to try to get to that first turn before him and just pin him down, let Tom Brennan have a run around the outside.
We go there, and heat number 3, tapes are up and we're underway. They roar into the first corner. Howarth is there, Brennan's on the outside of him. Zagar tucks up the inside. Look at Brennan coming on strong. Brennan now coming round the outside. What a move from Tom Brennan. Gets the better of Howarth there. Fabulous move from Tom Brennan. Completes the first lap out in front. Bellevue Aces on a 4-2. Didn't see that one coming, Chris.
No, so much speed from Tom Brennan. Really rode a smart first turn. Just kept the bike in the dirt. Smooth as well. He didn't stop his run at all. And Zagar now putting Kyle Howarth under pressure. He is under pressure now.
Indeed he is. Fabulous stuff from Brennan on the opening lap. Carl Howarth there hasn't got the speed. Zagar has, giving it a real big blast around the outside. Here he comes. Can he get the better of Howarth? Oh, they charge into the last lap. Howarth had to respond there. Squeeze Zagar up. Zagar now just relegated back to 3rd place. But this is a stunning performance from the Aces. They've taken advantage of Sheffield just going down to 1 rider. Big 4-2 for the Bellevue Aces, and they took advantage of the exclusion of Adam Ellis there. And Tom Brennan, with that dynamic move down the back straight, will be delighted with the outcome. Super ride from him.
Yeah, super ride from Tom Brennan, and important ride from a Bellevue point of view. With the scores on to 10-8, 2 on the night. 10 on aggregate.
Yeah, they close back, well, they stretch the lead once again back out to 10 points. clearly delighted. Charles right there congratulating his teammate. Tom Brennan, super ride, 3 points for him. Carl Howarth back in second place, 2 points. And Matti Zagar in third place. And this was a super move on the first lap.
Yeah, great move. Once again, the inside gate proving the best. Kyle Howarth pulled clear, but I tell you what, Tom Brennan really does ride a smart first turn. Brave going into turn 3 on the outside of Kyle Howarth. Anybody that's raced Kyle Howarth will know that he likes to put the bike out in the dirt. So pretty brave move from Tom. But once he got himself in front, he had plenty of speed, and that left Matti Zagar to put the pressure. We're riding on board now with Kyle Howarth, and any minute now you will see Tom Brennan there. Absolutely no room whatsoever as he dives into turn 3 on the first lap. Great ride from Tom.
And Zagar came on strong as well. Thought that Zagar might be able to get around the outside here, but Howarth was having none of that. Got overtaken once, he wasn't going to be overtaken twice, and he squeezed Zagar, but there's no question about that. A little bit of good fortune there for the Aces, and they took full advantage. And Mark Lemon clearly delighted with his young charge there, the rising star in the main body of the team, and riding at number 4, and quite rightly is chuffed to bits with his only ride. So we are seeing a change here now for the Bellevue Aces, where Simon Lambert has been replaced by Noric Vladorn, and possibly the right thing to do with Simon Lambert already having had 2 outings. So a few running repairs there for Robert Lambert, who is unbeaten as a Bellevue rider. He's had 2 home meetings, he's had 10 rides, and he's had 10 wins. It sounds quite simple to say, but far more difficult to do, of course. He's been in sparkling form.
Yeah, and far more difficult here. We need to be making better starts than he did at Bellevue.
Heat number 4 then, Connor Mountain off the inside in blue. Noric Vladorn out of gate number 2 in yellow. Tobias Muchalak, who had that heavy fall at Bellevue, he comes out of gate number 3 in red, and Robert Lambert out of the outside gate in white. Now, Lambert, as you rightly say, will not be able to get away with making poor starts here. I sense that he'll need to be sharper away from the tape. It's good to see Max Frick here. It's been in the wars, of course, and is missing out on the grand finals. He'll be desperately disappointed. And but Robert Lambert, an eye-catching move by the Bellevue Aces at this stage of the season, has done a fabulous job for them so far. But can he do it again? Unbeaten as a Bellevue rider so far.
Yeah, he's been very quick, very convincing, but this track a little bit harder to pass on than Bellevue.
Here we go then, tapes up, and we charge into the first corner. Off the inside is Connor Mountain. Mountain's made a great start, but Lambert around the outside, coming on strong, very strong. Look at the speed once again from Lambert, sweeping round the outside of Connor Mountain, and he fires himself to the front. And you've got to say that that was a super move from him. Now, up the inside is Tobias Muchalak. He comes through into second place. A 3-all at this stage of the race.
Yeah, important 3-all for the Sheffield Tigers, but Robert Lambert, well, just showing how fast he is. He Grand Prix star, found real consistency in the latter half of the season, and yeah, really showing us what he can do around this fast Owlerton circuit, looking very, very quick out front.
Robert Lambert out in front, where he's been accustomed to being in the Bellevue Aces colours, that's for sure. Less than a lap to go for him. Muchalak has come through into second place. Connor Mountain steady away there in third, with Noric Vladorn back in fourth place. But this man, clearly in a class of his own, coming back into British Speedway. He's had 11 races for the Bellevue Aces, and he's won all 11. Truly remarkable performance from Robert Lambert for the Bellevue Aces, and could he be the difference come the end of the night? Superb stuff from Robert Lambert.
Yeah, superb stuff. He's certainly been the difference between the two teams so far, given his performance on Monday night and his first ride here tonight.
So Robert Lambert remains unbeaten, and does it in fine style once again with that great move down the back straight. Heat number 4 then, the result is Lambert out in front, 3 points, Tobias Muchalak 2, Connor Mountain in third place, 1 for him, and Noric Vladorn, he failed to score in heat number 4, but once again an eye-catching move from Robert Lambert.
Yeah, great ride on the outside there. Doesn't make a great start. It's really tough here at Sheffield to get to the first turn from gate 4, but again, a little bit like Tom Brennan, but he makes his move a little bit later there, just going into the turn. And he keeps his wheels in line going into the corner, which is something you can do here at Sheffield, particularly going into turn 3. You never really get the bike in too much of a straight line down the back straight here at Sheffield, but tell you what, Robert Lambert, he does it with some convincing speed. Really does. He's left all the room in the world there by Connor Mountain. Perhaps Connor could have squeezed him up, but I think Connor was aware of just how much speed Robert Lambert would have had. And a very fair ride from Connor, but they filled in the minor placings. No advantage, Bellevue.
So yeah, superb stuff there from Robert Lambert, and doing a great job for the Bellevue Aces, and the 10-point lead is retained, and he is in absolutely sensational form. It's all to race for here. We've had 4 races gone already this evening. It has been outstanding stuff. It's been controversial. It's everything that the grand final should be. Don't go anywhere. Heat number 5 is not too far away.
Ahead of the first leg of the Premiership Grand Final, we spoke to the team captains, so it's only right that we speak to the team managers. Joining me now, Mark Lemon, team manager of Bellevue Aces. Mark, it was a bruising encounter on Monday night. Your guys really dug deep and an impressive, especially in the last few heats, but it's with a cost and you were 2 guys down. How do you come together now, especially from your managerial perspective, to get everyone firing for such a big occasion?
You're quite right, Abby. Monday, it was typical grand final stuff. It was all on the line and no one was given an inch. There was plenty of crashes. Sheffield guys went down, our guys went down. The unfortunate side for us is when our guys went down, they got injured and ruled out of the meeting. So it puts a lot more pressure on tonight for us. We're depleted. Usually you have to ride a replacement for Charles Wright, who's normally really good around this place. So I guess, thank God we had a 12-point lead. And I think to come away with only having 6 riders and then down to 5 riders to have a 12-point lead really shows how much it meant to the boys, and they've got to show that spirit again tonight.
And when their backs are against the wall, we've seen this Bellevue side, they can come out fighting, can't they?
Well, they have done, and we need them to do it again tonight. They know that what's on the line. We've worked so hard all year. They're aware of it. I don't need to remind them. I probably think I need to calm them down a bit. They're fired up. There's a real desire in their eyes, and I don't know how it's going to pan out. I'll be truthful. Sheffield are good around here. We know that, but we're going to give it all.
Mark, it's funny because usually you're so laid back in interviews, and I can also feel that kind of excitement and adrenaline from you. But as a manager, Mark, if we think about other sports, say football or rugby, and you've got a few days in between legs, you'd be staying in a hotel, you'd be training together, you'd be eating together. Speedway as a team sport is very different. How do you bring that team spirit when everyone's going off and coming back together tonight?
We've had plenty of experience with these guys travelling the circuits around the globe, so it's nothing new to us. And like I said, they do individual meetings on the continent and in Australia and wherever they are in the world racing. So, but when they come to teams, it's quite unique, this sport in itself. They just gel. And, to get a bond in a team is, it's probably as good as this is quite rare. And we've just had Robert come in and he's just slotted straight in, and I think that shows a presence. We've got a real nice balance, from some experienced, senior riders to some very youthful, sort of charming kind of influential sort of buzzing young kids, with Norrick and young Tom, and so we have a nice balance here, and I think they get on really well, and and what they've been producing on track has been sensational, but maybe I've been laid back before and I have to chill out a little bit myself, but I guess my role is really to calm them down, so I'm glad you picked that edge up on me. So
yes, I'll try and calm you down as well. Okay, we know how long it's been. It really could be Bellevue's year. We wish you the best of luck.
All right, thank you very much.
Here in Sheffield, after 4 heats, it is 13-11 on the night. It's an aggregate advantage of 10 points in Bellevue's favour. A reminder of the motorsport coming your way, including British Superbikes. Brands Hatch this weekend on Eurosport 2 starts Saturday at 1. The World Superbikes from San Juan, that's the weekend of the 22nd and the 23rd of October, also on Eurosport 2. And you can stream the brand new season of Richard Hammond's Workshop on Discovery Plus from the 17th of October. We're going to get cracking with Heat 5. Chris and Calvin, back to you.
Thank you very much, Abby. And as I said just before our break there, it has been exciting stuff already this evening. And I've got to say that the Bellevue Aces are hanging in there, but Sheffield Tigers fighting awfully hard. But there's no doubt there is plenty of racing to go. 10 points between the two teams. Heat number 5 then, Tom Brennan coming out for his second ride of the night off the inside in yellow. Adam Ellis from gate number 2 in red. Brady Kurtz out of gate number 3 in white. And Carl Howarth off the outside in blue. Kurtz, of course, will be smarting from that exclusion in his first ride. He'll be trying to make up for lost time now.
Yeah, Adam Ellis the same. Both those guys looking for their first laps of the night, hoping that they can get 4 laps in heat number 5. But, yeah, it's been a fantastic start so far.
Yeah, tense stuff. You can see it written all over Mark Lemon's face there. It means everything. He's come so close. On 4 occasions they've made the finals and they've come up short. Can they do it here this evening? Bellevue, of course, such a rich history. They've won the championship on several occasions before, but for Simon Stead, and he said in his interview, this is the biggest night in Sheffield Tigers history, and it's right.
Yeah,
if they can win tonight, it would be extra special, of course. So much to race for, and we are enjoying it thoroughly. We do hope that you are at home as well. We're on board, of course, with Carl Howarth. We're going to see some great action from him, that's for sure. Settling down then for heat number 5. And a couple of riders here, as we pointed out, haven't done a lap really so far, so they'll be very keen to get amongst it this time. Tapes up, heat number 5, and we're away, and they hit the first turn. Brennan's made a great start, but here comes Howarth round the outside this time. That's a better first turn from Howarth. It's what you expect, and he's hit the front. Kurtz now coming on strong round the outside of Adam Ellis. He comes into 3rd place, yes he does. So a 3-all here, but Carl Howarth, you just know he's going to have it wound on, and he made a perfect first corner.
Yeah, Kyle wears his heart on his sleeve and gives it absolutely everything. Every race he rides in, and he's looking good out front. Bellevue boys, meanwhile, just tucked in. Brady Kurtz, I think Adam Ellis was a little bit too easy to pass for my liking on the first lap, but he's coming under pressure now from Adam Ellis, Brady Kurtz.
Indeed he is. Ellis around the outside. Oh, Ellis is down. Oh, just got sucked in wide there. They're into the last lap. Red lights were on. And Adam Ellis there, just getting himself to his feet. He's okay, but not the sort of thing that the Sheffield Tigers need at this stage, or at any stage in truth. But possibly a mistake there, just running in hot. He was coming on strong.
Yeah, it was his second mistake of the race. He caught napping on the first lap when Brady Kurtz got round the outside, and then he's just he's come in too hot on the outside on the dirt there.
It looks like it's going to be awarded. Adam Ellis clearly unhappy about what's happened there. Hasn't been a great start to the evening with an exclusion and a crash. Here we see this again, Chris.
Yeah, Adam's at the back. He's already been overtaken by Brady Kurtz. Brady knows he's under pressure. He's looking left, looking right. Now Adam making a pretty classic Owlerton move there, but the bike just drifts across. I think he expects the dirt to be there just to send him around the corner, but he just seems to move through the dirt just there. He just loses traction and kisses the fence and goes down in an awkward heap. But it's been a disappointing start so far for Adam.
Well, yeah, no points after 2 rides, and they can ill afford that if they want to win this championship. Howarth was out in front. He won the race, and he'll be pleased with that. The actual result of the race was Howarth was out in front, 3 points for him. And Tom Brennan in 2nd place and Brady Kurtz back in 3rd. So it was a 3-all. And so it was 16 points to 14 and 55 to 65 on aggregate, with the Bellevue Aces maintaining a 10-point lead after 5 points. And it's still very much up for grabs. When you've got Robert Lambert in a race, well, you've got to believe you can feel a little bit more confident about the outcome of the race.
Yeah, he's got Jack Holder on the inside of him. This could be an interesting first turn with the fast starting Louis Kerr coming off gate 3, and a busy Noric Bladorn on the outside.
Indeed. And Bladorn, of course, is going to be used plenty of times this evening. Heat number 6 then, Jack Holder on the inside gate in red. Robert Lambert out of gate number 2 in white. Louis Kerr, who won the first race nicely, comes out of gate number 3 in blue. And Noric Bladorn off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. And there's no doubt that Lambert is up against 2 strong riders here at Owlerton. There's no doubt about that. They got a 5-1 in Heat 1, Holder and Louis Kerr. And Robert Lambert could be tested here, but you just don't know with him. Good to see Chris Holder here as well.
Yeah, and Jai Etheridge there just on the side of the picture there. He's took a heavy fall on Monday night in the first leg. Good to see him up and about. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting first turn, this, with Jack Holder on the inside of Robert Lambert. Fortunately for us neutrals, Robert Lambert hasn't been making the best of starts, so he was very reliant on the dirt line on the outside in his first ride.
Will he have that luxury again here against Jack Holder and Louis Kerr? Might be a touch more difficult, but nonetheless, Sheffield Tigers have got to turn it on now. They're 10 points down. They've reduced the deficit to 2. Simon Stead having a good, long, hard look at the programme. But it would be very handy indeed if they can get a heat advantage here and lower the colours for Lambert for the first time, representing the Bellevue Aces. We're underway. They get to the first corner. Jack Holder running wide in the first turn. But I tell you what, Louis Kerr missed the start there big time coming out of gate number 3. Jack Holder hits the front. Lambert's through into second place, and Noric Bladorn back in third. Louis Kerr's going to wind it on. Could be quite a battle for third place, but Jack Holder, he's winding it on. Is he going to lower the colours of Robert Lambert for the first time in the playoffs?
Well, I said it before the race that Robert Lambert was reliant on the dirt line around the first turn. Jack Holder made no mistakes, went straight out into the dirt at the very earliest opportunity, made sure that Robert Lambert wasn't afforded that gift, and he's going quick up front. And importantly for the Aces, Noric Bladorn is filling in that third spot.
The Aces just holding station. This will do nicely for them. Louis Kerr's got one last opportunity. He's coming on strong. Jack Holder's got this one. Robert Lambert safe in second place. Noric Bladorn hanging on in third. Louis Kerr not going to get there. No, he's not. Jack Holder wins nicely. And the Bellevue Aces once again doing enough there. 3 alls is enough for them. The onus is on the home team to pick up the heat advantages, and Robert Lambert is finally beaten in his 12th appearance for the Bellevue Aces. Quite staggering figures he's got. But for Jack Holder off the inside, he was in the right place and he made it count.
Yeah, he certainly did. It was very determined off the start and into the first turn, riding straight out into the dirt.
Result then of heat number 6 for you is Jack Holder, a good win for him, 3 points. Robert Lambert back in second place, 2 points. Noric Bladorn, a good ride in third place. And Louis Kerr missed out. And as I say, the 10 points is still there. But finally, Robert Lambert is beaten.
Yeah, it was a terrible race from him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just the 2 points in this one.
What went
well,
wrong?
He didn't make the start, and Jack Holder was just far too quick. But
Yeah.
I've got to say, that first turn from Jack Holder is on the inside. We're looking at Louis Kerr, who doesn't make one of his better starts. Gate 3 can be difficult here at Owlerton, but Jack Holder there pulls clear, has a look over his right shoulder, and then just goes straight out into the dirt. He was expecting Robert Lambert to be making a charge around there, and he certainly wasn't going to give him that gift. But a great ride from Jack Holder, but 3 points from the Aces, remains 10-point gap.
That's it, and that's all they require to do right now. The onus is on the home team to keep getting their noses in front, and the heats keep clicking away. And I think Simon Stead will be very keen for them to try and figure it out. But heat number 7, no easy task, with Zagar and Brennan representing the Aces once again. Plenty of respect between the 2 Grand Prix lads. They had such a fabulous race in heat 11 on Monday night. It really was truly extraordinary. And Jack Holder, after 2 rides tonight, has 5 points. After 2 rides on Monday, he had 0. So a much better night of Speedway for Jack already this evening. Heat number 7 then, Zagar off the inside in white, Michalak off gate 2 in red, Tom Brennan out of gate number 3 in yellow, and Justin Sedgman off the outside in blue. And as I say, the home team off of gates 2 and 4, Chris, they have got to get some heat advantages. They need to put the pressure on the Aces if they want to win here tonight.
Yeah, given the history of these two teams and Bellevue here at Sheffield this year, I think Mark Lemon would be the happier of the two team managers, being just 2 points down on the night.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that. And that Heat 15 with the 5-1 and Heat 15 on Monday really was a bonus. It was a tough night for the Aces with losing 2 riders, but in the end, they walked away with a 12-point lead, and the home team are having to dig very deep indeed. They've got time, but as I say, we will be approaching the halfway point very shortly after this one. So heat number 7. Tapes are up now and we're away. Zagar's made a great jump on the inside. Gate 1 working well again. Sedgman getting there, blocked by his teammate. Here comes Muszalak. Muszalak up the inside, pushing on, gets the better of Zagar. Great move there from Tobias Muszalak to fire himself to the front. Zagar trying to respond, but no, he can't quite get there. What a move from Tobias Muszalak. Here comes Zagar now, trying to repay the compliment, but Muszalak is away.
Yeah, Muszalak, really important move from him on the first lap. Oh, I tell you what, he's riding out wide. We saw him in Manchester on Monday night. Hit the fence fairly hard when he was riding out there, so he's going to have to be mindful of that. And can see there Justin Sedgman now putting plenty of pressure on Matty Zagar.
Riding strongly in 3rd place, but this is what the Tigers need. They need heat advantages. The move early in the race from Muszalak, absolutely crucial. Zagar now beginning to hang on in 2nd place, hasn't got the speed to match Muszalak in front. Muszalak through the last corner. Heat number 7 is all about him. Great ride for Simon Stegg and the Tigers. They will be pleased with that, and that's exactly what they require if they are going to close in on the Bellevue Aces. It's 8 points now. But no doubt about it, Tobias Muszalak strutting his stuff. I didn't think he could go up the inside there, but he found the drive and he did the business.
Yeah, fully committed to that move, and very, very determined first lap from him.
Indeed it was. And it's just the 2 points between the two sides here this evening, but 8 points now on aggregate. So here's the result of heat number 7. Muszalak out in front, 3 rides. Brilliant ride from him. Zagar back in 2nd place. Justin Sedgman in 3rd. And Brennan missing out this time.
Yeah, very few riders braver than Tobias Muszalak around here. He really times his cut back perfectly. You can see there, Matty Zagar caught unawares. You see the leg come out, almost puts the brakes on as Tobias comes through, and we see later on in the race that he rides really, really wide, and that caught him out in Manchester in his final ride. Took a heavy, heavy fall, but he's put that behind him tonight, riding out on the fence as we expect to see him. And Justin Sedgman was putting so much pressure on Matty Zagar. See there, Zagar just lifting off the start. It doesn't pull clear from gate 1 as several riders have done tonight, and that certainly gives the opportunity for Tobias Muszalak to time his cut back perfectly and make a lovely run up the inside.
Smashing Speedway once again, 8 points in it. All of a sudden, Sheffield Tigers moving in the right direction now, that's for sure. 7 races completed. And as I say, 8 points between the two teams. And as I say, from Tobias Muszalak, he's going along very nicely indeed. So he'll be pleased with that, that's for sure. There's the trophy, that's what they're racing for tonight, the championship, of course. So 7 races completed. We've seen all sorts of action so far. Terrific speedway here in Owlerton tonight. We'll be back with heat number 8.
So after 7 heats here in Sheffield, it is 8 points separating the two teams across the two legs, 23-19 on the night. Coming up this week on the network, you've got Ronnie O'Sullivan's 7th Heaven, that's Eurosport 1, Saturday at 8, and also the Home Nation Snooker Northern Ireland Open and Eurosport 1 Live Sunday at 1:45. Delighted to be joined by two-time World Superbike champion James Toseland, also part of Eurosport and Discovery's presentation teams for World Superbikes. James, nice to see you.
Hiya, like old times.
It is like old times. He's my buddy as well from our MotoGP days. This is very different. You're from Sheffield. It's a passionate crowd here, Jimmy. How good is it?
Well, it's going to be, isn't it? There's a chance of us winning the championship for the very first time. It's a bit of a long shot now at this point of the evening, but they have still got a chance. And while they're racing at home, the boys I'm sure they'll be up for it.
And that deficit has come down, so it is now to 8 points. You're seeing everyone pushing so hard. You've seen a couple of big referee moments. How do you handle the nerves? You're so used to it from your day of these big occasions.
The champions at the right time have to come up with the goods, and the real elite riders always seem to do that. And on evenings like this, you know that they're going to do it. So obviously we've got to pick the two riders at the end, but to be 8 points at this stage is going to be a tough call for them. But they have beat Bellevue 3 times, I believe, this year by 12 points or more. So there's still a chance. And with the home crowd, you can hear them behind. It's electric.
Ever been on a speedway bike?
No.
Would like to?
I was dangerous enough with brakes. Never mind without brakes.
How much respect then have you got for these
never
guys?
Say never. Oh, it's just amazing. When you're trackside, I've just been peppered with mud, by the way, so I know I'm at a speedway place. It is just an amazing event. Speedway racing's been around for a long time, and obviously here in Sheffield, it's really, really popular.
James, thank you for coming to chat to us. Let's get back to the action and to Heat 8 with Chris and Kelvin.
Yeah, thanks very much. Great to see James Toseland here, former World Superbike champion. Terrific. And clearly delighted to be here and enjoying his evening. So heat number 8 then is Simon Lambert off the inside in yellow. Connor Mountain will be coming from gate number 2 in blue. Gate number 3 in white is Norik Bladorn. And Louis Kerr from the outside in red. And yeah. It's an interesting scenario here. Mark Lemon has resisted the opportunity possibly to use Matty Zagar here, Chris. I'm quite sure what he's thinking, because rider replacement comes later on in heat 11, and that will mean Zagar will have to have 3 on the spin if that is the chosen way he goes. But he's trusting his young charge here, Norik Bladorn, and keeping his fingers crossed. He's coming out of gate number 3, which is not working well. It's tough from gate 3.
It's always tough here from gate 3. It's a long way across to the inside from there, and it's the riding line is through 3 and 4, so it just makes the start line a little bit slicker there.
It's opportunity now for the home team to close in on the Bellevue Aces once again, 8 points behind. But with Kerr, who's going great guns off the outside, Connor Mountain riding well as well. Here we go then, heat number 8, and we're away. Lambert's made a decent start, but Kerr off the outside has made a great start there. Connor Mountain coming through into 3rd place, tight down the back straight. Bladorn having to shut the throttle there because Connor Mountain was smart, slammed the door shut. Simon Lambert now under threat from Connor Mountain, but out in front Louis Kerr. Connor Mountain up the inside of Simon Lambert. It's coming on strong. Certainly another heat advantage for the home team here. Will do just very nicely. But Bladorn fires himself up the inside. Mountain pounces back.
Yeah, Mountain came under fire there, and now he's having a go at Simon Lambert. He's going to get himself into 2nd place here. What a ride from Connor Mountain. 1 minute he goes to the back, and now he's got himself into 2nd place. The 5 big points for the home side.
Sheffield Tigers coming on strong. Simon Lambert coming back into it, roaring around the outside. One last blast down the back straight. Mountain.
Lambert.
Yeah, Lambert's done it. What a response from Simon Lambert. Connor Mountain pushing hard. Chance to the line. And Connor Mountain gets there. Massive 5-1. Sheffield Tigers right back in it now. Crowd on their feet. This 2nd leg of the grand final here at Owlerton has come alive big time.
What a ride from Connor Mountain. He was in the action all the way through there, from 2nd back to last, back to 2nd. Fantastic ride from him.
Superb speedway here. Home crowd clearly chuffed to bits with that. And there's no doubt that the lead now is only 4. Game on now, people. It was 12 at the beginning of the night. Got to say, Kerr won comfortably. There's second place. Connor Mountain actually comfortably coming through there now. What a speedway race that was. Fabulous action between Lambert and Connor Mountain. Looked like Lambert was going to get there, but Connor Mountain was tough in that last corner.
Yeah, he was very tough, and I've got to say, Simon Lambert was in the thick of it as well. He's not had a great start to the meeting, and he was taken out of his third ride, but he was really putting it in there. He just couldn't find a way to keep himself ahead of Connor Mountain.
So there's the result then of heat number 8. Louis Kerr was super out in front. Fantastic effort for Connor Mountain back in second place, 2 points for him. Simon Lambert, a little unfortunate there, but great speedway, 1 point for him. And Norik Bladorn missing out in heat number 8. 4 points in it now.
Yeah, cracking ride. Such an important 5 points there for the home team. As you say, moving to within 4. Norik Bladorn here just creeps around the inside, block pass there on Connor Mountain. Absolutely wise to that, cut straight back up the inside, and then later on has to deal with Simon Lambert, and he really does get the bike working well up the inside there. Great lap that from Connor Mountain to hit the front, of course, and or hit second place with his teammate Louis Kerr, who was out front. But Simon Lambert threw everything at this race, never threw the towel in. Around the outside here, Connor Mountain has to work so hard to make sure he gets into that second place behind Louis Kerr.
Fabulous effort. It was proper speedway there, and Simon Lambert certainly played his part, but Connor Mountain was not to be denied, and in the end just snuck up the inside and grabbed that all-important second place. And could that be the moment when the shift really happened? 4 points in it. It's game on at the midway point, that's for sure. Kerr doing a great job for his team once again, 6 points out of 9. He'll be chuffed to bits with that, that's for sure. So let's get some more reaction now. Let's get down to Steve Brandon.
Thanks, Kelvin. Simon Stead, you've shared caps there. No better time to get a 5-1, sir.
Oh, could do with a few more. Great ride from them two boys, and knew the pressure was on. We needed to reduce that gap a little bit, so that's really helped put us right back in it. 4
points nearly at the halfway stage of tonight's match. The team working well?
Really well. You know, just a bit of bad luck, I think, in one heat where I think Christina made another poor decision. But, you know, we've got to take it on the chin. We've got to go about our business. And if we carry on riding like that, then we'll be all right.
A funny time of year weather-wise, the track. Nice bright day here in Sheffield, but the track tonight seems to be getting quite a lot of moisture in it. Yeah, I think it's quite damp out there, though. So I think the racetrack's good. It will produce some good racing then. I think naturally the race lines are going to come and provide some good action for later. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, good to hear from Simon Stead. He'll be pleased with the way things are going. They have turned the tide. The last two heats, of course, have gone their way with a 4-2 and a 5-1. And the Bellevue Aces will need to respond now if they want to get a little bit of a comfort zone. But it's rapidly evaporating right now, Chris, isn't it? 4 points. That could go in the blink of an eye now.
Yeah, it's the right time to do it as well. It's like scoring a goal just before half-time. They've given themselves every opportunity now. Plenty of races left to now take the advantage. The Bellevue Aces have got gates 1 and 3 in the next couple of races with Robert Lambert, Norik Bladorn, and then Matty Zagar and Tom Brennan. So this, I think, could be the turning point. This is where now Bellevue have to hit back.
Yeah, an opportunity with Robert Lambert, the form rider, going from the inside. You're absolutely spot on about that. Adam Ellis has had a disappointing evening so far and has got to find some form if they want to keep on a roll. He's had a tough time so far this evening with no points from his first 2 rides. It's exciting stuff, and we thought it was going to be close, and so it's proving, but there's no doubt that the Aces won't lie down. They are desperate to try and get this trophy tonight, that's for sure. Mark Lemon has been so close on so many occasions and has come up short, and he will be absolutely desperate to win the championship. That's for sure. The first time since 1993. That is just too long for
29 years. That's a long
29
while.
years. So it's too long for a team the size of Bellevue. Last minute going on here. The 2 minutes is on, and Norik Bladorn is under pressure to get that bike ready for heat number 9 now. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Norik Bladorn once again having gate number 3. I tell you what, that was hard for him coming out of gate number 3 and 8, and it's not going to be any easier in heat number 9.
No, Mark Lemon not giving him an easy job to do tonight. And I have to say, I question the gate choice of 2 and 4 when they won the toss. I'm not sure
I was surprised he didn't use Matty Zagar in heat number 8, but time will tell whether that is the right decision or not. This young man has had to work hard, and he's got a lot more work to do now, and he's on his way to the tapes now, and that's good news. And he arrives at the tapes now. Here we go then, in heat number 9, Robert Lamb is off the inside in white. Carl Howarth, the winner last time out of gate 2 in blue. Norik Bledorn, 2 consecutive races for him. Gate 3 in yellow, and Adam Ellis, who's failed to score so far, goes from the outside in the yellow and the red helmet colour. And will he be able to get amongst it this time? He'd be desperate to do. He's been frustrated, he's been a touch angry as well. Can he produce from the outside? Here in heat number 9, they're away. They roar into the first corner. Ellis has made a fantastic start from the outside. Lambert's up the inside of him. Got to say, there's all sorts of action going down the back straight. Howarth now coming through in the 3rd place. Adam Ellis has found the key to it now. Robert Lambert in 2nd place. Can he respond? Bledorn now. Bledorn up the inside of Carl Howarth. Great move from the young German.
Very important move from the young German, but he knows Kyle Howarth is going to come back at him for the remaining laps. He never ever gives up, Kyle Howarth, but a great race from Adam Ellis after such a disappointing start to the night. Great start from the outside to get across Robert Lambert. Robert's giving chase, but I can't see a way through for him.
Adam Ellis out in front with a fantastic first turn. Robert Lambert coming on strong in 2nd place. Just a lap to go. Bledorn's got 3rd place. Howarth hasn't been able to make the impact he wanted to, and Ellis hadn't scored tonight, but he's come to the party here in heat number 9, and they'll keep it to 4 points after heat number 9. Terrific ride from him, but it was required, absolutely necessary in the context of the championship, that's for sure. Ellis showing his class there, up against it. No form tonight, but that start from gate number 4, perfect, Chris. He absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, he did. Absolutely perfect start, as you say. Made the decision he'd got to try and get across Robert Lambert, and then just had the advantage of having the back wheel in the dirt around the first turn.
Super ride from Adam Ellis there. Disappointment for Howarth at the back. Robert Lambert drops his 2nd point. What's gone wrong with Robert Lambert? It's all gone wrong in the last couple of rides. I mean, there's going to have to be some sort of inquest here, isn't there, surely?
Yeah, dropping points left, right and centre now.
So we'll see the result then of heat number 9. Is Adam Ellis out in front? Fine ride from Adam. 3 points for him. Robert Lambert in 2nd place, 2 points. Norik Bledorn, a good ride from him, and 1 point for him. And Carl Howarth failing to score. And as I say, this was all really about Adam Ellis making this great attempt from the outside.
Yeah, we're on board with Kyle Howarth. You can see there his teammate Adam Ellis has made a great start on the outside, come across Robert Lambert. Now Carl's diving up the inside of Norik Bledorn, but wasn't able to hang on to that. You can see there he just drifts across towards the fence, leaves a big hole up the inside. Normally would be the quickest way round here around the dirt line on the fence, but Norik Bledorn just got his wheels in line that little bit earlier. And once again on the first turn, Robert Lambert working the bike, thinks he can get the traction around the inside, unable to do so, goes straight out to the dirt line, and Adam Ellis just shuts that door on the first lap and pulls clear. But Norik Bledorn here on the inside, really important move from him.
I think that was a clear indication of how much more difficult it is to overtake here. You know, Robert Lambert was picking people off the longer the race went on, but once you get on that dirt, it really is much more difficult. And when you got a rider like Ellis that was committed, much more difficult.
He was just always covering the exit of the corner in the dirt line, no way around the outside for
Pleased for Adam Ellis now, Chris, because he's on the score chart. He's had a disappointing evening so far, but be feeling much happier about the evening now. A vital win at a crucial moment, that's for sure. So we're rapidly going on. Heat number 10 is with us now, and Tom Brennan will go from the inside in yellow. Louis Kerr's having a good night out of gate number 2 in blue. Matty Zagar out of gate number 3 in white, and Jack Holder off the outside in red. And Louis Kerr and Jack Holder are going good tonight, really good. Zagar out of gate number 3 is vulnerable there, Chris. It hasn't been working tonight. We'll have to produce something pretty special to get the better of the Sheffield pair here.
Yeah, it's going to be tough from there, and Jack Holder unbeaten by an opponent so far. Louis Kerr, a couple of race wins, And he's a fast starter as well. It's going to make Matty Zagar's job that much harder. But Tom Brennan, we've seen he's had plenty of speed.
Yep.
He's got the advantage of the inside gate.
Indeed he has, and could well be that Tom Brennan has to do the hard yards here, and Zagar is going to have to dig in. Here we go, heat number 10, just 4 points in it right now. Tapes are up and we're underway. Louis Kerr has made a fantastic start out of the red lights are on.
Yeah.
In actual fact, probably too good.
Just like he did.
Yeah, so Christina Turnbull had no hesitation whatsoever there. We'll see it again, but quite possibly Louis Kerr was a touch early on the.
I can't believe he wasn't moving when the tapes went up. But,
absolutely fabulous away from the
frustrating for him if he wasn't, but just keep an eye there on the rider. Yeah, he was. It's hard to see because it's hard to see the tapes moving, but I'm pretty sure he was moving before they went up.
Yeah, he was just inching forward. You see it there.
Yeah,
he just lets the clutch go early, and he gets away
Great
with it.
anticipation.
But, fabulous anticipation, and back in our day we'll be chuffed to bits with that because you get away with it, but not these days. It doesn't touch the tapes, very nearly does with his helmet, but he'll have a warning as a consequence of that, and that will be with him throughout the evening. So he'll just have to behave himself now on the start. Louis Kerr doing a good job for the Sheffield Tigers. And while we wait for them to just get themselves reset, great to see so many riders from different disciplines here. We've got John McGuinness, we've got Keith Hewen, of course, former Grand Prix star himself and a commentator, great commentator, and been involved with Speedway for a long time as well. And James Toseland, a former world Superbike champion as well. So smashing to see such a good turnout here this evening. Plenty of interest in the grand final, that's for sure. McGuinness has done them all. He's a real trooper, isn't he?
He just won't miss one. There's always so much respect from riders from different motorcycling disciplines, and it's just great to have them along.
Yeah, John did a few heats with me just the other night and thoroughly enjoyed it, but clearly enjoying his night at Speedway here at Owlerton tonight. So heat number 10 then, second time of asking, is Brennan on the inside in yellow. Louis Kerr had a gate number 2 in blue. Matty Zagar gate 3 in white, and Jack Holder in red off the outside gate this time. And I think, personally, I think this is another opportunity for the Sheffield Tigers to close in once again here, Chris. It's looking good for them. Brennan may be a superstar. He's going to need to be, because gate 3, I tell you what, it is tough. You just don't get the purchase away from the start.
No, you don't. And Jack Holder, Louis Kerr, either side of him is going to make that job even harder. They've both been riding well, starting well, particularly Louis Kerr tonight. So tough job from gate 3 for Matty Zagar.
Bellevue were going along so nicely early doors, but in recent races you've got to say that the Sheffield Tigers have turned the style on, and they're heaping the pressure on the Bellevue Aces now. This is what Grand Final Speedway is all about. In the league leading up to the Grand Final, there's no doubt that Sheffield Tigers won here comfortably by 18 points. It's not quite the case now, still 4 points down. Away we go, Brennan makes a good jump, but Kerr's there alongside him. Brennan and Kerr battling it out through the first corner. Louis Kerr around the outside, Holder around the outside, and Zagar. All of a sudden, Sheffield Tigers on a roll here. Here comes Holder around the outside. Really good stuff, but Brennan's found some grip on the inside. Super right from him to hang on out there in second place. Kerr, though, out in front. Brennan on the pace. Jack Holder working overtime in third place.
Yeah, Brennan working the bike really well for traction, because Jack Holder, no question, is riding on the quickest bit of the track. He just can't find his way, can't seem to make any speed up. Now Zagar's joining the party on the outside, and certainly there, Tom Brennan not giving up on the chase from Louis Kerr.
Kerr out in front, but he's vulnerable. Brennan looking for a way through here. Kerr was super out of gate number 2. We're into the last lap. Zagar just made half a mistake there. Looks like he's not going to pick up a point. 4-2 on the cards. They've got to hang on for one last corner. Brennan giving it everything round the outside. But Louis Kerr, his form is outstanding once again. And the lead is only 2 now. The Sheffield Tigers have closed it into 2 points after 10 races. This is a grand final. You can't take your eyes off it tonight. Brilliant Speedway. Louis Kerr riding out of his skin. He's never ridden better.
No, he hasn't. He seems to be really enjoying it. So he had a last place earlier on tonight, and you could see what it meant to him after the race. He was so disappointed in himself, but no mistakes there.
Here we see it then. 76 points to 74 in aggregate. 10-point lead for the Tigers on the night. It's That's a result of heat number 10. Louis Kerr just riding superbly well here this evening. 3 points for him. Tom Brennan was fast in second place. 2 points for him. Jack Holder hanging on in third place, and Matty Zagar missing out at the back. But Louis Kerr, I mean, he is inspired here tonight.
Yeah, he is. It was a great ride for him. He didn't make the best of starts. Tom Brennan was probably made slightly better one, but he just stuck to the cause in the first turn. And Tom, I've got to give him credit. He was really working the track very, very well. He was just hugging that inside and making the bike work well, putting a lot of pressure on Louis Kerr, but Louis was just soaking it up. You can see there, just looking over his shoulder, keeping an eye on the opposition. Yeah, with Zagar at the back, it's another advantage to the Tigers, just 2 points in it.
2 points in it. Louis Kerr scored 9 points out of 12. Mark Lemon beginning to feel the pressure, just 2 points out in front. What a night of speedway we've got here. What a grand final we've got. Don't miss it. We're back with heat number 11 shortly.
We've had 25 heats of speedway across the 2 meetings so far, and there's just 2 points separating the 2 teams on aggregate. We've had drama tonight, we've had some big referee decisions, and the racing has been absolutely fantastic. There's an incredible atmosphere here at Owlerton Stadium. Let's hear now from Scott and Sam.
Thank you, Abby. Scott, Heat 8. Let's go for it. Let's get this thing up here. Here we go. This is probably the turning point, would you say?
It certainly was. It was that Gelf's top drawer, I think you say. It's a brilliant action. I mean, Louis Kerr, he's been making some sensational starts, does what he needs to do off the outside, but Connor Mountain in the blue is one you really want to focus on here. At this point, this is where the track was really starting to change the racing. I mean, it's early doors, everybody's out high and wide where Lambert is, but Connor Mountain, central race here, just keeps plugging away around the inside, forces the issue on Simon Lambert, and
Simon Lambert was throwing some big turns in there, wasn't he? Going really deep right there.
He was, and here you see Bladorn fires across the inside, and here at Sheffield, where the racing line's changing now, you can feel really vulnerable if you move out and leave that gap on the inside, but it kind of entices you to go out wide where the dirt is. But Connor Mountain showed his home track craft there up the inside, but Simon Lambert wasn't being denied. He stuck it in that dirt on the outside, but as we saw later on, that line is starting to change now, and that's where bike set up and communication with the boys is key.
And the Sheffield boys are really adapting to the later part of the racetrack, and we heard Kyle Howarth earlier on saying, we know our track.
Yeah, they do, and the gates are really becoming key now. We had this the other Monday when we were here. Gates 2 and 3, a bit of a graveyard, and it's tricky, you know, setting the bikes up. We can only make one choice. You set up for the start of the track, and it's a gamble these boys are going to have to do.
Nice one, Scott. I tell you what, this is looking pretty exciting. Back to Kelvin and Chris Louis.
Thanks, Sam. So here we go then. Heat number 11, Tobias Muzelak off the inside in red. Brady Kurtz off the gate number 2 in white. Gate number 3 is Justin Sedgman out of gate number 3 in blue. And Matty Zagar for a second consecutive ride. Rider replacement ride for him off the outside in yellow. And it's going to mean that Zagar's going to have 3 rides on the spin here. He'll be out in the next race as well. Zagar has only scored 3 points and Kurtz has only got 1 point. So these 2 big hitters, Mark Lemon now, tense times for him, just 2 points up, and he is going to have to rely on his big hitters who haven't been performing so far this evening to come good now in heat number 11, Chris.
Yeah, Mark's put in particular Matty Zagar under a lot of pressure. He's a rider that's not really at the races by his high standards tonight. He's got 3 on the trot to contend with as well now.
He has indeed. Zagar, who hasn't made the starts he was looking for, be looking for better. We've seen Adam Ellis make a great start from the outside, but with Michalak on the inside, tell you what, he's not a man to be messed with, that's for sure. Michalak is a hard charger. He'll want to hit the front. And you no doubt that the Sheffield Tigers have got their tails up right now, and Justin Sedgman also doing a good job for his team with 3 points from his first 2 rides. 2 points in it, here we go. Heat number 11 is away. And Michalak's made a great start, goes straight to the dirt. Here comes Kurtz up the inside, it's tight coming out of there. Zagar now, Zagar as well there up the inside. Michalak trying to respond, gets himself into 2nd place. Brilliant first corner from Brady Kurtz. Absolutely sensational move from him, possibly. Tobias Michalak going too wide, but here comes Zagar now up the inside. It's all on here in heat 11.
Unbelievable stuff, brilliant first turn and first lap for Brady Kurtz. And now Matty Zagar really giving chase, but Mujak has not given up on Brady Kurtz, looking just to get his wheels in line a little bit earlier.
Here it comes! Oh, it's neck and neck down the back straight. What a ride for Michalak! Kurtz has gone down! Drama here in heat 11. Absolute drama. The red lights are on. Oh, you can't take your eyes off it. Brady Kurtz there, such a great move early in the race. Michalak with loads and loads of speed. This is a massive decision in the context of the championship. Which way is it going to go?
I tell you, it was a high-speed crash too. Very high speed.
Yeah, end of the back straight here, you are pressing on, believe me. And Brady Kurtz buried under the air fence. Let's hope he's okay. But I tell you what, Brady Kurtz certainly picked up his performance, that's for sure, and got away nicely from gate 2. Brilliant move in the first turn, but Michalak, he had speed to burn there, didn't he? He was coming on strong.
Yeah, and he's such a brave rider, but yeah, a move up the inside there. Brady Kurtz goes down. It's going to be interesting to see this one again, hoping that Brady Kurtz is okay.
Well, we're going to see the replays now, and this will make very interesting watching, because here we see it again.
Yeah, here comes Tobias up the inside. They've both gone in with a lot of straight line speed, not really turning the bike at this point. You're well into the corner, and well, it's tough. It's tough, but there's no way you could stay on the bike. Plenty of contact. Another big decision for the referee to make here.
Different angle now.
Yeah, I guess the question is, did Tobias Muziak come across him or not? He's come in very narrow. I think he has come across. I think he has made a lot of contact with Kurtz. Kurtz had no option but to get off. I think could see
well,
an exclusion.
Is in great danger here.
Yeah,
I sense that he could well be the one to go.
I think he will.
But tough speedway here in the grand final. Just had his nose in front marginally. Difficult to know which way Christina Turnbull's going to go now. Good to see Brady Kurtz making his way back to the pits. So we wait to hear who has actually been excluded. Somebody will have to be excluded. The no exclusion lights are on yet. So clearly taking her time, Christina, this evening. Massive moment, massive moment. If Michalak's thrown out of the race, what an opportunity for the Bellevue team to then stretch their lead once again. Dramatic stuff here, drama, controversy, everybody waiting for this decision to be made.
Such a big decision. Referee clearly not happy, wanting to look at it yet again. And I can't say that I blame Christina Turnbull for wanting to take plenty of looks, because this is a decision that could be a turning point for the meeting. But I failed to see how Tobias Muziak can't be deemed to be at fault here. No malice whatsoever. He's come in with such pace, and he's had to turn the bike hard. As he turns the bike, he does make contact with Brady Kurtz.
Well, when you look at it like that, he's knocked him off.
Yeah.
He's knocked him off. So the rider in red has now been excluded.
Right.
So Michalak is out. And the huge decision has been made. Sheffield Tigers coming on so strong. But all of a sudden now, could be a little bit of a lifeline here for the Bellevue Aces. Certainly, you've got to believe that they will try and take full advantage of Justin Sedgman, the only representative for the home team in the rerun. So Brady Kurtz suddenly turning on the speed there, but Michalak he was probably enticed there. There was a little bit of racing room. He allowed the bike just to run a little bit straighter, and there was no way he was going to keep to the inside. His momentum was going to carry him wide.
And Brady Kurtz knew what he was doing. He was very brave, but if he'd have just run out wide and given him the room, then there would have been a block pass there from Muziak. So no, he did the right thing, but he went down hard for it.
So we are now hearing that race has been awarded. So it is a 5-1. It looks like it's going to be a 5-1 to the Bellevue Aces. And that will be quite a massive moment in the grand final, no doubt about that. Mark Lemon, I would suggest, is going to be a touch relieved as a consequence of that. So the result of Heat 11, Brady Kurtz wins the race. Matty Zagar back in second place, 2 points for him, and Justin Sedgman picks up 1 point, and Tobias Michalak is thrown out of heat number 11. 5 points for the Bellevue Aces, and by golly, did they need that.
Yeah, they did. 6 points of difference again now, and it's just stemmed the tide a little bit. It's just stopped the momentum of the Tigers. They'd had 3 heat advantages in the last 4 races, but it was looking good at this point. And then Tobias Muziak, he just very brave around the outside of Zagar there. Then he makes a beeline for the inside on Brady Kurtz, and he can't quite build the momentum. Kurtz out in the dirt line there, and Zagar now looking for a way up the inside of Tobias Muziak, but he knew exactly what he was going to do now. I think he's already planning his cutback now. He enters the corner very wide on the second lap. Now he's just got the drive up the inside. He's made that cutback perfectly. And Brady Kurtz doesn't move over. If he moves over and gives him the room, then Tobias Muziak's through. But it was a brave move from Kurtz just to keep on the outside of him and not give him the space. He's gone down for it, but it's a big 5 points for the Aces.
Right, let's get some reaction now. Let's get down to Steve Brandon. He's joined by Mark Lemon.
Thanks, Kelvin. Mark, that was a tough corner.
Tough racing out there. That's what you expect from a grand final. We saw it on Monday night, and the boys are not letting up. The referee's got some tough decisions there. The boys are going. I know there's no malice. Thomas is a fair and fast rider, but I'm going to say it's the right decision. I thought it was the right decision.
And just at the right time for you, they were just sort of starting to feel their way well back into the meeting.
Yeah, well, we were always going to struggle at some point with the rider replacement. We knew that. So, obviously I risked it in the Heat 8, but I knew that we may become good. But I think we've got, the real Zager out there now.
I'd love to have a camera on you tonight. You haven't stopped moving. You're pacing up and down, looking at your program, talking to riders. It's quite tough as a team manager on a night like this.
It's cold, Steve. I got to keep warm.
No, but seriously, you've got to be across everything, looking at everything, keeping an eye on what's happening.
Yeah, and I think for me, for the gate positions, like gates 2 and 3 have been pretty hard to come off, and I didn't want to waste a good rider off, one of them poor gates. So I guess that's how I had to be a bit mindful of that. So a little bit to go, but it's edging closer. We're hungry for it, and it's a real tension here that's building. And I'm not sure if my nerves can handle it, but I don't know about yours.
I can tell everyone at home you're breathing easier than you were a few minutes ago. Chris, Kelvin, back to you, gents.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. A nervous team manager. Here we go then, heat number 12, Adam Ellis off the inside in red, Norik Bladorn out of gate number 2 in yellow, Connor Mountain out of gate number 3 in blue, and Matty Zager for his 3rd consecutive ride off the outside in white. Just reflecting on that exclusion, I must say that it was a tough call for the referee, because when you watch it coming out of turn 2, actually Tobias Muslak did have his nose in front there, and it was only that last bit at the end of the straight. Not an easy decision to make, is it?
No, it's a tough decision to make, but it was the fact that Tobias was he'd come into the corner so narrow, he had to turn the bike. It's when he turns the bike, he just backs it into Brady Kurtz. And I think the referee took plenty of time to make the decision. I think he's made the right one.
Okay, so here we go then. 6 points now, a lead for the Bellevue Aces, and a touch easier, but still races to come. And there's no doubt about, with 4 heats remaining, it's still very much on, and it's still in the balance, this grand final here at Owlerton. And Premiership Speedway at its finest here tonight, that's for sure. Heat number 12, we're about to get underway once again. Green light comes on now, tapes are up and we're away. Adam Ellis has made a smashing start on the inside. Zager coming from the outside, trying to chop back. Ellis has gone right round the outside. This could be another race win for Adam Ellis. And they're going to out in front. Zager coming through into 2nd place. Bladorn there, hanging on in 3rd place. That's a handy ride for him, because certainly Connor Mountain was right there, but Zager has found some pace now.
Yeah, Zager certainly has got the bike working really well, and he's just entering the corner that bit wider, just allowing himself to be able to cut back up the inside. Adam Ellis is very, very aware that he's there. He doesn't know where to ride. He's sort of riding defensive, covering the inside, going into the corner, and the outside on the dirt line. But I tell you what, Zager generating plenty of speed.
Here we go then. Zager now coming on strong in 2nd place. Adam Ellis having to ride all over the track, inside, outside. Zager lining him up for a run down the back straight. Can he get there? Ellis slams the door shut. Had to do it, had to ride defensively. Zager with one last chance. But Adam Ellis has turned his form around tonight. Had to do it. Failed to score in his first 2, but has come out and won his last 2 rides. So he moves on to 6 points from 4 outings. And that 6-point lead is retained. The Bellevue Aces picking up 2nd and 3rd, and major damage done. And even Stevens there in heat number 12. And fair play to Matty Zager. Well, was asked an awful lot to come out in 3 consecutive races after going along fairly steadily in his first 3 rides. But then all of a sudden he's found some speed just when he needed to. The result of heat number 12 then, Adam Ellis out in front, 3 points. Matty Zager back in 2nd place, 2 points for him. Norik Bladorn picking up a vital 3rd place to get the better of Connor Mountain in 4th, who misses out. But once again, Adam Ellis, he looked vulnerable in front there. Zager was coming at him from all angles here.
Yeah, I think Adam was riding defensively. I think when you've started with an exclusion and a fall, you're never going to feel full of confidence, and he goes very wide there on the first turn. Zager now entering the corners wider than Adam. Adam just cutting off the exit in the dirt line there. And for me, he's just riding like a rider that's not high on confidence. And Zager giving him plenty of room going into the corners on the outside, just to eat every corner looking to cut back. But we mustn't forget about the input there from Norik Bladorn, because it was a vital 3rd place from him.
Absolutely right, Chris. They keep it to a 6-point advantage with just the 3 races remaining here this evening. Unless, of course, we get a super heat, then we'll have 4 races.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
It could well be a dramatic end. That certainly is on the cards. Can't rule it out. Great speedway between the 2 riders out in front. Zagar trying everything. He threw the kitchen sink at Adam Ellis there. Had to have eyes in the back of his head in heat number 12, but he comes out the victor. And all of a sudden, after a disappointing start to the evening, Adam Ellis has turned on the style in his last 2 rides. Much more like it from Adam Ellis. So heat 13, massive race. Always a massive race.
Not sure that graphic's correct.
Now we've got heat 13 for you now, and it will be Jack Holder will come out of gate number 2 in red. Off the inside in white will be Brady Kurtz. And gate number 3 in yellow will be Robert Lambert and Tobias Mujalak. We'll go from the outside in blue. Massive race this, Chris. We've got some massive riders as well, big hitters here. It's always a big ride, big heat rather, in any meeting. But when you consider the context of this evening, Sheffield Tigers have got to drag something out of this one.
Yeah, they have. Unfortunately for them, the Aces, I think, have got slightly the better gate position, so they're 3 not working. So if Tobias Mujalak can make this start from the outside gate, then yeah, it could be advantage Sheffield in this one.
Yeah, Sheffield with Jack Holder going along very nicely this evening. Much improved after Monday night. Mark Lemon now 10th. Simon Stead will be just the same. Heat 13, we're away. They get roaring into the first corner, and it's from the outside. Mujalak makes a great start there. Brady Kurtz once again, those 2 really tight round the first corner. Here comes Jack Holder into 3rd place, and the Sheffield Tigers holding a 4-2 with Robert Lambert out the back. Holder trying to come on strong in 3rd place. Keep your eyes on Lambert. Lambert will certainly work hard there. Certainly Kurtz on the outside. Here comes Holder. Holder coming on strong. Mujalak's away in front. Great battle for 2nd and 3rd.
I tell you what, Brady Kurtz will be having a bit of deja vu there as he entered that corner.
Yeah.
Jack Holder on the inside of him. I tell you what, Robert Lambert's got so much speed. Jack Holder's been absolutely all over the track in his effort not just to keep Robert Lambert behind him, but to get past Brady Kurtz. Oh, he's gone for the cutback. There's a mistake.
Big block there from Brady Kurtz. Had a look at Jack Holder, moved over, and that's allowed Robert Lambert now to go from last to 2nd. Massive move in heat number 13 to relegate Jack Holder to the back. Mujalak's going to win the race, but there's no doubt that the 3-all to the Bellevue Aces will be very welcome indeed when it was looking like a 4-2. Jack Holder will not be happy about that. That was a ruthless move there from Brady Kurtz there to get the better of Jack Holder. I wouldn't be at all surprised if there's 1 or 2 words exchanged on the way back to the pits there, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's already started.
Yeah, you can hear it in the crowd as well. Fabulous speedway once again here in heat number 13. But at the end of the day, the Bellevue Aces are hanging on to that 6 points lead. Result then of heat 13, Mujalak out in front, 3 points for him. Robert Lambert back in 2nd place, 2 points. Brady Kurtz, 1 point for him, and Jack Holder just being beaten up there and failed to score in an action-packed heat 13.
Yeah, great race, heat 13, and we're taking a look there at the rider in blue. That's Tobias Mujalak. Great ride from him, coming from the outside. Perfect start, managed to get across everybody, had to really work hard there with Brady Kurtz, and Jack Holder now just giving chase on Brady Kurtz, but Robert Lambert stuck at the back, and it all came down to that mistake in the end. It was actually not a mistake really, it was manufactured by Brady Kurtz as Jack Holder continues the charge on the outside, has a look over his shoulder, puts the block pass in there, just stops the run. Robert Lambert was waiting for that and just creeps around the inside. 3 points for the Bellevue Aces, the difference still 6.
Yeah, 6 points, and the Bellevue Aces getting ever closer here. And it's awfully tight, 87 points. And there's no doubt that the 6 point margin is being quite handy now when you've got just 2 races remaining, unless we go to a super heat. So 42 points to 36 on the night, and 87 to 81. So there's no doubt that this race could be absolutely vital.
Yeah, 3 points needed for the Tigers, for the Aces, sorry.
90 points. That will be, well, that will be enough, won't it? That will be enough. That will see them there. So a shared heat here, and all of a sudden it's looking like it's going to be celebration time for the Bellevue Aces. What a tense night it's been. It really has been topsy-turvy. You've got to give a lot of credit to the home team. They battled back from a 12-point deficit. They've got to within 2 points, but then Mark Lemon and his team have responded. That 5-1 in heat 11 in particular, with the exclusion, absolutely vital.
Pivotal.
Quite possibly in the outcome of this grand final. Heat 14 then, Justin Sedgman is off the inside in blue. Tom Brennan will come out of gate number 2 in white. Carl Howarth from gate number 3 in red. And off the outside is Bladorn and in yellow. So massive pressure now on the home team. They just simply have to get a 4-2 at the very least here to keep this championship alive. And with Carl Howarth and Justin Sedgman, they've got a chance, but Howarth is out of that graveyard that is gate number 3. He's going to have to produce something special.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it's going to be tough from there. Tom Brennan, he's had a decent night, 7 points for him so far coming off gate 2. He's just got to be looking to get across Justin Sedgman, because if Justin gets there first, he can control the race from there.
Could well do, but Sedgman's been making good starts around the season. So here we go. This is crunch time. Heat number 14 is with us. Been lights on, tapes are up, and we're underway. They go roaring into the first corner. And Sedgman's gone wide, he's left the door wide open, and both the Bellevue boys come charging through. Howarth is at the back. This is looking fabulous for the Bellevue Aces. They're on a 5-1. Certainly Tom Brennan out in front, Bladorn there in second place. Here comes Sedgman now. Round the outside, can he respond now? Brilliant effort from Sedgman, he's down the back straight.
Yeah, this is a great ride from Justin Sedgman, putting every single thing he's got into it. The outside not working quite so effectively on turns 3 and 4, but he's there now. But it's down to Kyle Howarth. He's got to find a way past.
He has indeed. Sedgman's ridden out of his skin to get to the front, but it's still not enough. Not with the Bellevue pair packing in for second and third. They understand the position. One massive lap in the grand final to go in heat number 14. Sedgman out in front, but the Bellevue Aces with a 6-point advantage coming into heat 14. It's looking like it's going to be their championship. Sedgman's out in front, but the Bellevue Aces are there. What a night of Speedway, what a championship, and many congratulations to the Bellevue Aces. The 2022 Premiership is theirs.
Yeah, they've weathered the mid-meeting storm, they've weathered taken all the pressure. We can see what it means to those youngsters. And, well, that's the engine room, they've done the job.
Fantastic Speedway tonight, sheer joy for the Aces. They've been so close in previous seasons. They've managed to get to 4 finals in the last 7 years, but they've come up short. But tonight, it belongs to them. They had the 12-point lead coming into the night, and it got awfully close with the Sheffield Tigers coming back at them really hard. But in the end, heat 11 and the 5-1 there with the exclusion to Michalak certainly was crucial in the outcome of this. Now there's big smiles, now they can relax, the tension's gone.
Mark Lemon's a different looking character.
And the Bellevue Aces have won the championship for the first time in 29 years. What an achievement, and congratulations to them.
Yeah, fully deserved. They've been so close over so many times in that 29 years, and they've finally got it over the line. But I tell you what, the Sheffield Tigers have made them work very, very hard for it tonight.
Oh, crikey, they have indeed. Just spot on, Chris. It's no doubt when they got to within 2 points, it was looking like they were on a roll, and the Bellevue Aces were beginning to wobble. But now these scenes are fabulous scenes. It's the result of a year-long campaign. It's a marathon. They've played their part. Lambert has been superb. Zagar coming back into British Speedway and picking up the championship. He'll be chuffed with that. Injured riders as well, of course, they're amongst it. And the Bellevue Aces fans overjoyed with that. Special scenes here, great to see.
Yeah, great to see. There's no question when we look back on tonight, I think heat 11 was pivotal. The exclusion for Tobias Muziak, it just stopped the momentum that the Sheffield Tigers had found before that race. They had it down to 2 points, the gap on aggregate, but Bellevue Aces, well, they weathered the storm and they've taken the victory and the championship, fully deserved.
Okay, let's get some reaction now there, because there's a man in the thick of the action, and that's Steve Brandon.
Thanks, Kelvin. I'm with a man who wasn't born the last time that Bellevue were league champions, 1993. Tom Brennan, how are you feeling right now, sir?
Fantastic, mate. What a absolutely unbelievable experience. I mean, this club have been working really, really hard for this, and obviously today's the day where it comes true. So they've waited a bloody long time for this. So it feels awesome.
I'll let that word go if you heard something you didn't want to hear at home. But just for you, Tom, I know that you've stepped up as a rising star and you found yourself in the main body of the team. It's been frustrating at times. You must. Mark Lemon loves you. Stay there, Mark. Stay there. Just Tom, sum up your season.
Unbelievable, mate. I mean, obviously this club, both my league clubs, I mean Polish clubs, everyone that's kind of got me here. I've had some amazing sponsors, but no, I mean this is about Bellevue tonight, and obviously these guys have pushed me massively, and all I can do is say massive thank you, and thanks to all the supporters. I mean, it's great. So for us, it's fantastic, and obviously this guy over here is going to be chuffed. So that's the main thing.
Well done to you. I'll let you go and gather your thoughts, and I'll come and find out the thoughts of team manager, CEO. Mark, your feelings right now, sir?
It's elation beyond belief. I just didn't think this could happen, you know. It's so much hard work has gone into this, and it's just not now. Like me and Matty, we go back from 2006, when we had our dreams dashed by a single point, and then like obviously a couple of years ago, this is our fourth final. I couldn't bear coming here and losing another final. So, I mean, there's just so many people we have to thank. Our owners, Tony Rice and Robin Salvo, and get well, Robin. Obviously, we're all thinking about you. And mate, it's just unbelievable. Our sponsors, our partners, it goes, the fans, they've waited 29 years for this moment. And like, look at them, they're loving it, and they deserve it. They've been great. We've had ups and downs and, in the years, and we've worked really hard. And, credit to Adrian Smith, our former CEO, obviously put the ship back in place. And there's just ATPI, Rent Truck. They've just been backers for years and years. But the boys just rode their socks off tonight and all season. And we lost Charles and Reggie, Jai, and our backs have been against the wall every time we've gone away. We've had to ride a replacement, and it's been tough. But we lost Max, and I thought, oh no, here we go again, deja vu. But we were fortunate enough to bring Robert in replacement in long-term injury, and he's been a star. But credit to Sheffield, the come back to the top flight. Well done to them and their fans, and obviously Ipswich and Wolverhampton making the playoffs. What a year! I can't believe it.
All right, one word for you: breathe. Chris, Kelvin, all yours.
Yeah, fantastic. Clearly overjoyed there, almost overwhelmed, and a fabulous moment for him. He's been part of the scene at Bellevue now for some considerable time. But we'll just watch this vital race here, Heat 14 again, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, this is the race that did it. This is the race that clinched it, and the Aces are looking good on a 5-1 here. But Justin Sedgman, you've got to take your hat off to him. He gave absolutely everything in this race. He knew what was at stake, and he's ridden right around the fence, generating all the speed. And he's taken care there first of Norick Ladorn, and then of course Tom Brennan. But at this point, the guys have been sent out by Mark Lemon. They know exactly what they've got to do. They're aware that they're in the vital second and third places. And unfortunately for Kyle Howarth, if you've cut him in half, he would be Sheffield through and through. Finishes at the back.
Yeah, disappointment for Kyle Howarth there. He'll be gutted about the way that's ended up, but there's no doubt that the Bellevue Aces have come on strong when they needed to. They were under huge pressure. But the last few races, it's just worked out for them. And yeah, it's special moments here for the Bellevue Aces. What a conclusion to the championship. We've got one more race to come. The Bellevue Aces are the champions. But don't go anywhere. We've got a great conclusion. Heat 15 is coming for you soon.
We still have one heat remaining here in Sheffield, but congratulations to Bellevue. They are your 2022 British Speedway Premiership champions. There's 6 points in aggregate, a huge deserving victory for them. It's been almost 3 decades of hurt, but they will be lifting that trophy in a heat time. Reminder of the other sport coming your way. Cycling Pro Series Tour of Langkawi is on Eurosport 1 live tomorrow at 10:50. Track Cycling World Championships, Eurosport 1 live tomorrow at 6:20. The noise here is really quite deafening. And the Alpine Skiing, the World Cup, Eurosport are live 15th and 16th of October. Let's join Steve Brandon as we look at all these fans celebrating Bellevue win to get the manager's picks for Heat 15.
Thanks, Abby. I'll come to Simon Stead first because Sheffield have choice. Simon, before we reflect a little bit on tonight, who are you using and where are they going from in Heat 15?
We're going to use Jack Holder in red off gate 2 and Tobias Musilak off gate 4 in blue.
Tough to get this close and not get over the line? I mean, it's an obvious question, but I can see your emotions now pretty flat.
Obviously just disappointed. I think the referees robbed us of an epic Heat 15, but it's the way it is. I think we've had some rough luck over the course of the 2 meetings in terms of the refereeing decisions, but nothing we can do about that. Can't race the ref.
And really, when we look at the season, 2 best teams have made the final, and it's as close as everyone maybe predicted it was going to be.
Yeah, it's been a great final. Congratulations to Mark and Bellevue. We'll be back next year for more.
We look forward to seeing you next year. We'll see you again tonight. Gentlemen, Mark, just let me know who's riding in Heat 15 for you.
Yeah, we're going to have Robert in white off gate 1 and Brady Kurtz in yellow off gate 3.
We'll get some more reaction after we'll watch this race, but you've calmed down a little bit, but I can see that you're so happy.
Absolutely, and I have condolences to Simon. I've been there like 3 times in recent years. It's horrible, to come so close and the top of the table. We've done it at Bellevue. It's not nice, but I guess it was just our turn, so we will take that. The sun will come up tomorrow and life will go on, but we're going to enjoy this moment.
We'll see you some more in the victory celebrations. Chris Kelvin, all yours for the last one.
Thanks very much, Steve. Heat number 15 then. Robert Lambert off the inside in white. Jack Holder out of gate number 2 in red. Brady Kurtz out of gate number 3 in yellow. And Tobias Musilak off the outside in blue. Smashing lineup to finish the season off here. Aces are the champions, but pride on the line here. I'm sure that Sheffield Tigers will want to try and get something out of it if they can. Here we go then. Green lights on. Last time in the Premiership this year. Lambert's made a great start, charges to the outside, Musilak and Holder up the inside, he left the door wide open there, Holder hasn't looked for his teammate, Musilak got squeezed up against the fence, here comes Lambert, block pass, Musilak replays the compliment, fires himself back into second place. How ironic is this, with the Tigers out in front here on a 5-1, but the job has been done by the Aces, but a consolation here, you would suggest, for the Tigers?
Yeah, consolation, but it's just going to be all the more frustrating to lose out by such a small margin. Still a competitive race. Championship has been decided. Robert Lambert still putting plenty of pressure there on Tobias Musilak, but ultimately disappointment for the Tigers.
Indeed it is. Jack Holder just got beaten up, of course, in Heat 13. Started the evening so strongly, unbeaten by an opponent in his first 2 rides. Robert Lambert is dropping points here for the first time in a Bellevue race jacket in the playoffs. But Jack Holder, Tobias Musilak coming through with a 5-1 to make it look quite respectable on the evening. But unfortunately for them, it hasn't been their championship this year, but I'm sure they will be back. As Simon Stead said in his interview with Steve, you can understand the disappointment comes so very close. But Mark Lemon said something pretty poignant there, and the fact that they have come close so many times, and he has felt that hurt on more than one occasion. So you just sense that Bellevue were due a championship, having been knocking on the door for so long. Result of heat 15 to complete the evening. Jack Holder out in front, 3 points. Michalak back in second place, 2 points for him. Robert Lambert in third, and Brady Kurtz failing to score. The night and the championship belongs to the Aces. As we've said, it's a wonderful moment for them, with a club with such magic history, such big riders like Peter Collins, Ivan Major, Ovi Fund and Peter Craven. Certainly they have had some superstars in their side in the past.
Yeah, the Mancunian Mexicans making plenty of noise out there, enjoying their moment, and I'm sure that moment's going to go on long into the night. But competitive race nonetheless to wrap proceedings up in the very last race. Unfortunately for the Tigers, it's frustration because it just puts them within a couple of points of the championship. But no, you can't take it away from the Aces. They've raced hard over the 2 legs. Both these teams deserve to be here, convincing in their semi-finals, and they didn't disappoint us in the final.
No, there's no doubt about it. It's been attritional at times. There's been some high-speed crashes, that's for sure. It's been controversy. Simon Stead feeling that some of the refereeing decisions went against him, but he may reflect on that comment tomorrow. But there's no doubt you can sympathise with his feelings right now. But for these boys, they've worked so hard. They've come close in previous years, but this year belongs to them, and the Bellevue Aces sit on top of the charts once again. Sheffield Tigers obviously topped the table at the end of the league campaign, prior to the campaign and the playoffs beginning, but the Bellevue Aces, now the celebrations can really begin in earnest. What a night for them. Well, what a conclusion it's been, Chris. It really has been dramatic stuff. Sheffield obviously topping the league prior to the playoffs beginning. They've been in terrific form, but the Bellevue Aces came under huge pressure tonight. But in the end, 1 or 2 big races there in the second half of the meeting really were the moments that clinched it for them.
Yeah, I think the exclusion in Heat 11 for Muziak, and then the ride for Jack Holder when he got bullied to the back. Great move, you can't take it away from Brady Kurtz. He knew exactly what he was doing when he moved across the front of Jack Holder and stopped his momentum. But no, the Aces, I mean, both these teams have given us 30 great races over the two legs, and thoroughly enjoyable. But we're just looking actually at pictures right now of the Bellevue riders into the crowd.
Well, those guys just dived in. They may never be
Crowd
seen
surfing.
again. He'd never be seen again. But I was just going to reflect on the signing of Robert Lambert. It was controversial, but it was allowed, and he came into the side and certainly played his part. And those 10 races he had at home, unbeaten, that was also, well, when you lose a rider of the class of Max Frick, what a replacement.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have got a better replacement. And yeah, it was controversial. I'm sure that discussion will go on for many months to come, but you can't take it away. Bellevue, by the end of the season, particularly with their strong home form, were they're always going to be the team to beat.
They were indeed, and for young Norit Bladorn coming into the team, Matti Zagar has managed to survive the crowd there. Fair play to him. He was very brave indeed to go in there, but nonetheless he is clearly overjoyed coming back into British Speedway. And Chris, I think this has been a fabulous advert for Premiership Speedway here. We've had a wonderful final, and I do believe that I think it's looking forward to next year as well. I think it's just lovely to think that we can have such competitive speedway here in the UK.
Yeah, and we've got an extra team in Leicester coming into the Premiership next year. So there's so much to look forward to. You know, the quality of the teams this year has been great. It's been extremely competitive, and no reason to think that next year won't be even better.
Yeah, thoroughly looking forward to that. Leicester, of course, coming into the league, so we'll have 7 teams to look forward to watching and covering for you. But there's no doubt that these playoffs work every single season. The semi-finals, well, they were pretty one-sided, but the grand final over 2 legs has been a joy to behold, and there's no doubt that the Bellevue Aces rightly will celebrate long into the night.
I'm sure they will, yeah. I think there's going to be a few hangovers tomorrow, but it was disappointing to hear Simon say that he didn't think the refereeing decisions were right, but, you know, that's the way it goes.
So, like I say, we are going to have the presentation shortly, and a presentation of the runners.
So Bellevue are your 2022 Premiership champions, just 2 points after 15 heats, well, after 30 heats, separate the two sides on aggregate. 50-40 on the night, 89-91. Gentlemen, a huge night, a huge 2 nights of Speedway, both teams putting everything on the line. Possibly Heat 11 was the change of momentum, Sam.
It sure was. I mean, these guys really, a lot of talent out there, very amazing racing to me. They were really throwing it out there, and unfortunately, sometimes the third person, a referee, can have to make a decision one way or the other, and it possibly could have went, this will be the story, won't it be? There was a heck of a lot of racing out there, Scott, and stuff, but you know, these guys put it all out there, and it was really entertaining.
Scott, 12 months ago, this was you, a fairy tale for Bellevue this year. Matty Zagar just went into the stands with the Bellevue fans a moment ago and just danced and celebrated. It's a huge night for Bellevue.
Oh man, it's huge. I know that the pain they would have felt last year losing to the Dad's Army, and at the same time I know what that elation feels like. And yeah, I mean, it's been a long time coming, and the guys on shot there, you can see, I mean, Mark Lemon, I know the pain he would have felt last year, but no, it's awesome. I mean, to go down to the wire like it did, and like you said, I think that Heat 11 was a pivotal moment.
It was.
What a year Mark Lemon's had, getting the silverware in Speedway of Nations. But let's hear the celebrations and presentation with Calvin and Chris.
Yeah, thank you very much, Abby. Of course, difficult moments now for the Sheffield Tigers, but they have played their part, Chris. There's no question that they've had a terrific season. It won't feel like that right now. They have assembled a terrific side, and Simon Stegg can be proud of his team this year.
Yeah, absolutely, he should be, and they've battled so hard over the 2 legs. Got within 2 points with 5 races to go. I think that's what's going to hurt them the most. They were there.
They did so well to close it within 2 points, but now come forward the champions. What a night it is for them, and they will be overjoyed there. Good to see Charles Wright has actually got his Kevlars on there as he comes forward. He's played his part, of course. As I say, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. It goes on throughout the year. And Charles Wright, who took that heavy fall on Monday and couldn't ride here this evening, fully deserves to take his place up on the podium there for the conclusion of this. Tom Brennan, another rider that will be overjoyed to be a champion at such a young age. And there's no doubt that this team will be absolutely chuffed to bits, and with Scott saying, you know, he has felt it both, but for Mark Lemon and his troops in 2022, this is a special time, and he's come so close. He's felt the pain of it on more than one occasion, and right now he can really just let this soak in.
Yeah, he will need a couple of days for it to soak in. It's been a long while, but you know, it's great to see the whole of the Aces troop here when you consider they've got Max Frigg, they've got Jai Etheridge, Charles Wright, none of them able to ride, all suffering injuries. It was really quite something.
And we can't forget the supporters, of course, who have maintained their loyal support throughout the years, and they saw them go down narrowly to the Peterborough Panthers last year. But this year, the wait has been worth it because they've come through in flying style, and they have done the business. Fabulous night of Speedway once again. Kurt's coming on strong late in the meeting. Zagar having to work overtime. Robert Lambert, of course, playing a huge part in the outcome of this. And for a young rider like Norit Bladorn, what a moment for him.
Yeah, seven points, I think 7 for 8, 10, so a fantastic input from him.
Indeed it is. So there we are. We're already thinking about 2023. We've mentioned it already, but right now 2022 is all about these boys. Fabulous moments, memories that will live long in the memory. They'll never forget it. And when you do it as a team, it is special. You ride with each other week in, week out, and at the end of it all, you can pick up the trophy and feel that you are the #1 team in the land. Fantastic feeling.
Yeah, they'll, as you say, Kelvin, they'll remember this moment for a very long while, and it's so important to their fans as well. It's such a big club with such a big history, and they are absolutely loving their night of glory tonight.
Yeah, they are indeed. They ride at a track where it's, you know, everybody's opinions are that it's one of the best tracks in the world now. And a brand new stadium. It's a fantastic place to go. They've come so close, but right now this team have delivered the championship for their fans, and of course they'll be absolutely overjoyed. You can't reiterate that, how loyal fans are. They go all over the place. There's plenty of them here tonight, and the Battle of the Roses goes to the Bellevue Aces, and And I've got to say that it's been a joy to commentate on. It really has been thrilling stuff over the Monday night and here this evening at Owlerton. Disappointment, of course, for the Sheffield Tigers, but as I reiterate, they have certainly played their part. They kept it so tense. You could just see the faces when it went to 2 points earlier on. It really was beginning to get very tight indeed. But for these men, yeah, this is a very proud moment for them.
Yeah, got a feel for the Sheffield Tigers. They really did play their part in this. 2 points down, 5 races to go. Really felt they had a chance.
Okay, let's get some more reaction now. Steve Brandon once again is down there for us, and he's with Brady Kurtz.
Thanks, Kelvin. Brady, winning captain tonight. How are you feeling?
It's been an unreal season. What the boys pulled out tonight was nothing short than absolutely perfect. I think halfway through the meeting they were really pushing hard, and Sheffield are so good at home, and I can't believe we sealed it up even before the last race. And Ace has got the win. 29 years or however long it's been, and I'm sure this is going to mean a lot to the whole club.
Well done the numbers, 29 years. I spoke to Tom earlier. He wasn't even born yet. I can't remember when you were born, but if you weren't born either. But just tonight, there were some setbacks, early doors, exclusions, people falling off, including yourself. You had to really dig deep as a team tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Right from heat 1, when I got excluded, I knew it was going to be a very long night for us. And in both leagues, I don't think I've ever seen such hard racing in British League before. No one gave an inch. There was that many people putting it on the line, and that's what it's all about when it comes to the final. And definitely, I'd also like to say congratulations to Sheffield. They had a great season. They finished top, and they were well deserved to also be in the final. And I'm sure their time will come.
The fans that are here tonight won't be watching it, but I'm sure they'll have recorded it. But a word for the support for the Bellevue Aces tonight.
Oh, unbelievable! Look, have a go at our fans up there. They've been absolutely unbelievable. I think that's some of the best British fans I've ever seen in my time riding. That's for sure. They're out of control, and that's what keeps us going. There was so much motivation seeing them before the meeting, and that might have been what got us over the line.
Well done, Captain. Great job.
Yeah, fabulous scenes there. Celebrating in front of the fans, you've got to be delighted with that. What a night of Speedway it's been. 2 nights over the grand final. It's been absolutely sensational. The Bellevue Aces have come through in flying colours, and we are delighted. And they are fully deserved winners in 2022, the Premiership champions.
The aggregate score over 30 heats of Speedway, 89-91. Bellevue are your Premiership champions. Other motorsport coming up on the channel includes the British Superbikes from Brands Hatch this weekend, Saturday at 1 o'clock on Eurosport 2, and the World Superbikes from San Juan, that's on the 22nd and 23rd of October, also on Eurosport 2. Our vantage point here has been quite something. We've seen sombrero hats running past, we've seen bottles of champagne, so Brady Kurtz sprinting with the trophy. They've given these Bellevue fans so much to cheer about, and they're soaking up the celebration. It has been 29 years since they've been able to enjoy this moment and be crowned the champions. We are now a full house down here. Your British Speedway team and also your Speedway Grand Prix Series team. So it's brilliant to have everyone here. Calvin Tatum, it's been a brilliant advert for Speedway in this country. But for this new era of Speedway, also on Discovery Plus with the Grand Prix Series, just so exciting. Bartosz Marslik becoming Poland's first three-time world champion.
Yeah, Smarslik was the red-hot favourite going into the championship, of course. He wasn't always at his best, but he came through in the end in flying colours. And, of course, the Brits have done superbly well as well. Dan Bewley winning twice and Robert Lambert making the top six. Ty Woffenden not at his best this year, but I'm sure he'll be back for more next year. But just reflecting on the last two nights, Monday and Thursday this week, grand final speedways, Team Speedway at its finest. You know, no quarter asked for or given, and it's been attritional at times, but it's been dramatic, controversial. We've had everything, haven't we?
No one gave an inch either, did they?
No, they didn't. You know, there were some really important decisions to be made tonight by the referee. They could have gone either way, but in the end, the Bellevue Aces probably just about deserved it. But you feel for the Tigers, but they'll be back. But Bellevue the Aces coming so close so many times, you just felt that maybe this year their name was on it, and congratulations to them.
Absolutely. And Sam, when we think about Speedway as a whole, and Calvin's mentioned the British representation on the global stage, Dan Bewley, first time that he became British champion, but he was also brilliant in the Grand Prix Series.
He's just a miracle worker. He comes from that side anyway, too. That guy has just showed everybody that there's belief in somebody that's just getting into this game. For him to go out there and win at Cardiff and then back it up to go and just do so well internationally, and he come here and win the British Championship as well, and just showed everybody what he's made of, and he's a class act.
He's an absolute class act. I'm going along the row here, Chris Louis.
You're going to have to shout. I can't hear a thing over
I will
here.
shout very loud. Chris, we'll continue the British theme, and Robert Lambert, he's been exceptional in Bellevue colours. I wonder if that's given him a taste of coming back to ride in this country, but also with a podium in Wrocław. It's been a brilliant year for Robert.
It has, yeah. I mean, he just found consistency. That's maybe what he was lacking. And towards the end of the season, making podiums, and obviously great for British Speedway to see him back here in the playoffs. And what a job he did for Bellevue. You know, it's really finished their season off, giving them the trophy that they've been waiting for 29 years. But I think Dan Bewley probably stirred him up a little bit. You know, I don't think Robert expected to see him win 2 Grand Prix on the trot. And no, it's been a great year for both the Brits. Ty, yeah. I'm sure we're going to see more from him in the coming couple of years.
Yeah, Scott, Ty didn't have the season that he wanted to, and you had to speak to him a lot reporting on the Grand Prix Series. He always speaks a big game, but it wasn't his year.
No, it wasn't, and we know Ty is capable of much more. And like you say, you only see so much on the screen. We do the interviews, we've been pretty open, but then obviously you have those chats away from it. And there's been a lot going on. It's been a tough year for him. He hasn't achieved nowhere near what he feels he's capable of and what he wants. And he says the fire's lit for 2023, so we'll soon find out if that's the case.
Well, Ty Woffenden is recovering from COVID, but we managed to get an interview with him yesterday in Perth.
Season's been really bad, to be fair. My average dropped again in Poland in the league. I think my average has dropped every year for the last 5 years, which is horrendous. And then, the Grand Prix was pretty garbage. 2023, looking forward to me being back to my best. We know what we need to do that, and things are in place to get me to where I need to be. So really excited about that. And the fire's lit again, and the fire in my belly probably hasn't been lit for the last 2 years. with the whole COVID thing, and then we moved out to Poland, and it was great to spend lots of time with the family, but no friends, no family, all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be nice to be based back in the UK next year and fly out, go to work, come back, and be cut off from the rest of it. So I want to be back at the top. So that's what we're aiming for. I'm racing Poland, Sweden in the Grand Prix next year. So I signed in Sweden probably about a month ago now. Again, that's all part and parcel of having a big year next year. We're doing everything that we feel needs to be in place to have a crack at winning the world title again.
So the British riders in the top 8 in the world. Calvin, it's a good position that British Speedway are in right now.
Yeah, it's been a fabulous effort tonight. I think we've seen some spectacular stuff. I think that everybody tuning in tonight would have been royally entertained. Obviously an interview there with Ty Whiffenden. I think we've heard some of that previously. I didn't hear it actually, but I think I've got a gist of what he was talking about. He's moving back to the UK. I think he wants to rekindle that real enthusiasm to go and win again. He's a proven winner. And there's no doubt that with riders like Schmalzlich winning 3 world titles now, let's hope that we see the best of Ty in 2023. But nonetheless, British Speedway's been the winner in 2022.
Yeah, absolutely has. And Sam, also, when you go to the youngsters, and Tom Brennan, he was exceptional tonight, but he was also, runner-up to Dan Bewley in the British final.
I just think that Britain at the moment's just got things dialed in a bit right now. The focus right now is on the kids, bringing them up and giving these guys the experience. I mean, Tom Brennan went out there, and it's pretty heavy on your shoulders to be able to produce these kind of results in this kind of a window, and to be able to rise to the occasion and do that, it's got to be a big advert for all the kids that are coming up right alongside of him. So it's perfect.
And Chris, how have you enjoyed watching tonight? You've been brilliant in commentary, but it wasn't the Witches. They were so good all year long, but they weren't here tonight.
Yeah, the team did their best, and they topped the table for most of the year. So yeah, I'm proud of the guys. It was a disappointing way to end for us, but you've got to say that Sheffield and Bellevue were the 2 teams that deserve to be in the final. They were convincing in their semi-finals. So the extra team next year with Leicester coming up into the Premiership, plenty to look forward to.
Yeah, and Scott, we were mentioning it that you had the elation last year wasn't to be for Peterborough Panthers. How hard is that when you go from being the heroes to really finding it tough?
Took the words out of my mouth. 0 to 0. It's a shocking year for the Panthers. I think the old steam ran out. I think the old Dad's Army needed a few defibrillators in the camp to keep us going. But no, do you know what? It's when you see the boys come around, you see the joy, especially the young guys, to seal the deal in Heat 14. Ironically, it was Heat 14 that sewed up for Panthers last year. The joy those boys will be feeling, the adrenaline, the rush. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps. It's unreal to lift that trophy. And 29 years for Bellevue, so close last year. And they deserved it. There's a few decisions went back and forth. If Sheffield had won, they could have looked back and been sort of, those decisions would have gone by the wayside. But nonetheless, the ref makes these decisions, it happens, and Bellevue have gone away with the title.
Yeah, so Bellevue are the winners, and like you said, Calvin, and Champagne Lily comes on us. The celebrations, you feel, will be going late into the night. They have come so close, and with 2 men lost on Monday night, you do feel it was their title.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I had a gut instinct that it would be their year. But, the Sheffield Tigers certainly pushed them awfully hard. But they did lose 2 riders on Monday night, but they have managed to cover for that. And when you consider that Zagar and Brady Kurtz, I think from early on in the meeting, only had 4 points between them after about 2 rides each. So, they really did have to dig in, and that Heat 11, the exclusion there was absolutely vital, and then they were able to capitalise on that situation when Jack Holder got beaten up by Brady Kurtz in Heat 13 and they dragged a 3-all out of that. I mean, that showed great character when they'd come under so much pressure. I think Mark Lemon had a strategy that not all of us would have agreed with. I thought that he would use Zagar. I thought he would use Brennan in Heat 2 for a start. Didn't do that. He didn't use Zagar in Heat 8. Then gave Zagar 3 races on the spin and trusted that Zagar would find the speed, and it paid off for him. So fair play to Mark and his team.
We've only got a few seconds before we go off air, Calvin, but to summarise the season, because for Eurosport as well, it's their first year covering the Grand Prix Series.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful season, and I think that with the highlights from the British perspective, of course, that gives it the icing on the cake, and I'm sure that when we reflect on it, when the dust has settled, I think we will be able to look back on a wonderful season of Speedway, both domestically and internationally.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for your company. Thank you for watching. We hope you've enjoyed a brilliant season for 2022. Bellevue is all yours.